I've always believed that comics is a legitimate art form, and it was so frustrating being in college. Like, there are certain artists that were allowed into the curriculum and certain artists that weren't. And I would always ask them, like, when I was back in school for painting and printmaking, like, we could look at Andy Warhol, we could look at Ansel Kiefer or David Sally or somebody. But I was like, well, what about Jack Kirby? Like, can we look at Jack? Like, no, that's comic books. And then it's like, okay, well, then is it merely money? Like, do you just want to see some money? Here's Frank Frazetta, motherfucker. You happy now? But then it's like, that's not enough. There is something that's very special to comics that makes it a different art medium. The French call it the ninth, right? We already have dance, poetry, literature, music, right? Go on the line. And then eventually comics is something, it's a weird hybrid of storytelling and picture making. And I think it's its own medium. It's special. It really is.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. We are on the cusp of Turkey Day tomorrow. It's more important than turkeys, but just a time to give thanks. And I'm so thankful to be here with you guys on this lovely Wednesday, beautiful Wednesday here where I'm at in the Bay Area. A nice setup for tomorrow. Man, everything is shutting down as far as mentally and physically shutting down, ready for this break to come on in. It's been so good, kind of already at the start of this week, all the prep for what Thanksgiving will be. And hopefully, I wasn't even sure who would show up today because, to be honest, a lot of people travel, even though, in my opinion, traveling during Thanksgiving is a nightmare. We're not traveling this year, just going to a relative's place not too far away from us. So I'm thankful for that. But it's a time hopefully for family, friends, if you have a community nearby, just to gather, eat, hang out, rest, eat some more, watch some TV, fall asleep, wake up, eat. It's a good time. It's a good time. But the comics don't stop coming. Nobody stopped. Nobody closed their doors before this Thanksgiving. And this week in particular, I had no idea, is probably I want to say it's the largest week of purchases that I've had in a long time. So many books came out this week. So it's really crazy. And we've got to get to it faster than normal. I think I'm going to run through this intro, shooting the fat part faster. Well, I say that, and it's going to be like 2 hours later. But I'm going to try and run through it faster than the norm because we've got so many books. I couldn't even fit them almost on one page on the straw poll. So it's a lot, you guys. So get ready. Hopefully hopefully people are just chill right now and ready to slide into tomorrow. And you have the time because it's going to be a lot. And it's going to require you to pay attention because I was just listing out all the books in preparation for this. And I'm like, holy cow, one after the other, after the other, after the other. Went to 2 different stores to get them all. And then on top of that all, I got packages too that came in just today. I happened to stop by and got a notification that, I had some packages come in. So I'm really excited about that. One of them, I know exactly what it is. The other one, I don't. I really don't. So who even knows if it's supposed to be opened on stream here? We'll see. I'll do a little peek-see to make sure that it is a book, which I'm pretty sure it is. I just couldn't for the life of me figure out what it was. And usually I'm pretty good at guessing prior to opening up the packages. But anyway, welcome in. My name is Rocky Ballesteros. Thank you guys so much for coming to join me. As you guys are all stepping into the chat, it was awesome just to see the gang. The gang's all here. Again, I wasn't sure who was going to show up. I didn't know who could even sit down and watch a stream on a Wednesday right before Thanksgiving. But it seems like you guys are all here, or most of you guys are here, and that just warms my heart and makes me thankful to be here with you guys today. So I'm glad that I was able to pull this together. My schedule has been insanity, and I think a lot of it has to do with the holidays, and it's just one after the other. Like right after Halloween goes into Thanksgiving, then right after Thanksgiving, Christmas is right around the corner. So holidays definitely add a lot of complexity to life. But then just the schedule of different projects that I am working on currently, both for my personal stuff and then also professionally, is a little insane. I'm not going to lie. So, but I am not letting go of streaming. It's just a matter of like finding the pockets of time of when I can do it. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a bumpy road, I think, from now till pretty much till the end of the year. But we're going to try our darndest to stay consistent and for sure keep getting comics so that we can talk about them and just enjoy what they are. There's just so much good stuff coming out and so much good stuff to find. And I really love just sharing it with you guys and inspiring people to kind of, go out and enjoy what comics do. So with that being said, we're going to get into it and say hello to everybody that is here today. Comrade Sammy is first in the chat. Comrade Sammy was even mentioning she wasn't even sure when was the last time she was first. I'm going to close this. And that's true. It's true. So it's awesome. Maybe it's because I gave you quite a bit of runway. I did hit the schedule to go live. I gave myself a longer runway today. So maybe that helped. I don't know. But thank you for showing up and being the first in chat, Comrade Sammy. Always good to have the chat ninja, the OG chat ninja here. Awesome one. Look at all those turkeys.
Yes, that's awesome.
I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of turkey, if I'm going to be honest. I don't know anybody who loves turkey. Usually most people during Thanksgiving talk about the unique sides that they have or that they're making or their favorite sides. I don't know anybody who's really like turkey is my favorite thing on the table. I don't know. Maybe you guys are different, but I've yet to meet somebody to tell me turkey is their favorite holiday meat. Usually it's a little dry and it's all about how you dress it. There was one time my wife made a turkey that was covered in bacon, like you baked it with bacon, and that was pretty amazing. I've had a deep fried turkey before, which that was pretty good too. But there's nothing that's been it's not like a good steak or even a good roast chicken. Turkey's just it's just a large dry bird. I don't know. It's good. I like it, but yeah, it's not my it's not the number one thing I'm looking forward to for Thanksgiving. Cranberry Landers in the house. Happy Thanksgiving to you, Cranberry Landers.
This is a cranberry full of power.
So good seeing you. Hope you are going to have a good holiday celebration, maybe with your brother, brother and his family, or your other family. But awesome seeing you here. Mark's Music Obsession. Yeah, Mark's Music Obsession is here. And I'd like to call out a guest of honor. Michelle from M&M is in the house. What is up, Michelle? It's so cool to meet you here. We have heard a lot about you. Not gonna lie. A lot of curiosities, questions in our minds as we've heard about you and Mark hanging out. So good to thank you so much for coming in here. I know he's trying to wrangle you in with a vote on the last master study and the crazy voting that we do here. And he's definitely what do you call it? Not gerrymandering, lobbying for your vote, probably. But that's okay. I trust Mark. But so good seeing you here, and I hope you can become a regular like Mark. We love Mark. He's been here since the beginning and has contributed so much to my channel for sure. I know he contributes to a lot of other channels, just being in the chat, just being a supporter. So welcome to this crazy world of YouTube. and hope you get to meet some cool people, and hopefully your interest in comics peaks a little bit more just by being here. But we are so happy to have you here. And I'm sure a lot of people in the chat are happy to meet you as well. Nobody bites. Nobody except one person. But everybody else here is pretty cool. Timmy Mello is in the house. What's up, Timmy Mello?
And the Guardians are headed to October.
So this frightens me a little bit, Timmy Mello, because you're talking about on a budget. And funny you should mention it in this stream, because like I just alluded to, this was probably my biggest haul in a week that I've had in a long time. So not really a budget, I would say. Maybe I'll have to take a break next week. I don't know, because yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot of books. I was trying to be very, very selective, not overdo it, but just a lot of books that I'm pretty excited to read came out this week. So what you gonna do? What you gonna do? There was somebody who commented on one of my videos last week, and they were asking me, like, do you go into a store with a budget? And I was like, I should. That's probably a good idea, but I don't. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll talk to my accountant at the end of the year, and she'll probably tell me something different. Mo Biggs, what is up, Mo Biggs?
Better known as Mo, Big wasn't always the confident voice we hear today.
Get ready for the jokes to start dropping with Mo Biggs in the house. Awesome seeing you, and also from the other side of the world, Jeffrey Beats.
10% bogan, 50% bogan, 100% bogan.
So Beats, sorry, it's just probably a normal, I mentioned this in chat, just a normal Wednesday for you. I don't know if you guys have the equivalent of Thanksgiving that you celebrate in Australia. But yeah, we just take it as an opportunity to get fatter, to overeat, watch football, and hang out with family. So it's a good time. But yeah, you're more than welcome to join into this celebration and just bust out a turkey. I don't know if they have turkeys in Australia. Some bird, whatever large bird that you don't normally eat that's kind of dry, just get one of those in Australia and make a meal. Add some like crazy sides, some lime jello perhaps from the recipe that we tried several months ago, or just random sides, stuffing, mashed potatoes, cranberry, all sorts of pies, casseroles. It's kind of the thing. So yeah, just do that for your family, and just tell them you're celebrating Thanksgiving, because we told you could. All right, let's see who else is here. We just saw Timmy Mello. Happy Thanksgiving. Michelle says happy Thanksgiving to you guys. Mark's Music Obsession says, I wish YouTube would fix the IDs back the way that it's always been. Me too. It's weird. I don't know. I almost don't recognize half of the people because of it, except Mo Biggs says it's embarrassing for everyone to think I'm Mo Biggs instead of Mo Biggs. So there's that. That's what you get. It's like YouTube's way of punishing people who are too clever with their profile names. Then they're just like, just kidding. Now you're gonna be shown as Rocky 4321X29. But yeah. Yeah, I don't know. And if that stops John from coming into our chat, our good friend John, the sole distinction of being the very first person to show up in chat when I streamed for the first time. And I just looked it up before I started streaming now because I was curious. But my first live stream was either October 23rd or 24th of 2023, guys. So we've already hit the 2-year mark on this dang channel, which is insane. It's totally insane. I did kind of feel it with the first year. I was like, oh wow, we finally made first year. But from year 1 to year 2 just flew by, and all of a sudden we're 2 years in, and I'm like, holy cow. So it's been quite a journey. I can't believe some of you guys, a lot of you guys were in that very first chat as well in October of 2023. So can you believe it? We've been doing this for a couple years and you guys have stuck around. That's really that's really amazing to me. And I'm so thankful, so thankful for that. Mo Big says John should try making an alt account, possibly. Suggest John Boy Burgers. Channel member Mark's Music Obsession's like, Mo, you dog. You dog. Happy Thanksgiving, America, Jeffrey Beats says. Everybody, happy Thanksgiving. I love it. That was awesome, Mark's Music Obsession. For those of you who don't know, Mark's Music Obsession has may or may not have an alter ego. I'm just gonna leave that there and let you deduce what may be happening. But great to see you, Big Boy Burgers 5656. That's a mouthful. Traveling for Thanksgiving isn't a nightmare. It's a lighthearted adventure as related in trains, planes, and automobiles. What a classic movie. And actually, that's a good one to pull out for some holiday viewing. Let me know, you guys, in the chat, just as just as the stream goes, drop in the chat if you want your favorite holiday movies, specifically Thanksgiving. I mean, I know it's like Christmas and Thanksgiving holiday movies kind of merge together, but Home Alone, classic, Elf, obviously for Christmas. There's some good ones, but Trains, Planes, and Automobiles is one you don't hear mentioned a lot, but that is such a classic movie. It's really good. Timmy Mello says, thank goodness I ain't cooking this year. Same. I am so thankful that I have family nearby that I can just mosey on in, bring a couple sides and a couple folding chairs, and we're good. They can handle the 5-hour turkey or whatever it is. No, thank you very much. Soup or show? Did I say soup? Since this is my Wednesday Comics Thanksgiving edition, I expect at least one of these comics to be about turkeys fighting crime. No, there's not one. If it's from me, you can open it up. Is it from you? Is the other one from you? What's up, Zaid Comics? Zaid Comics. I'm glad you're here. Please stick around. This one's from you, buddy. That is the one that I knew what the package was. That will be the first thing I'll open on stream here. So awesome seeing you here, Phil. Thank you for stopping by. Happy Thanksgiving to you, my friend. Come on now. Of course, we got to pop into the stream. Of course. Glad everyone is here for the stream. Nice one, peeps. Yes. You guys all showed up. I love it. Not really. I'm pretty sure I popped in before that notification was sent out. Oh, really? Okay. Nice. Okay, Comrade Sammy. You are ahead of the game here. K-pop junkies in the house. Then you aren't making it right, she says. If the turkey's dry. I mean, it's not dry. It's just not... I don't know. It's not like, turkey. If turkey's really good, it's because of the gravy or something. It's not like on its own. I don't know. It's just me. Is that just me? It might be. Wow, bacon. I like my turkey relatively dry. Oh, I don't. I don't. I like and the bacon, like it crisped on the cover and the top, the skin when she made it. And then the bacon fat just kind of soaks into the turkey. It was delicious. It's good when it's, what was that? Something just happened. Mark Baker just subscribed. All right, Mark Baker. Welcome, Mark Baker. I'm so glad you subscribed. Awesome having you here. Welcome. I didn't even see you in the chat, but maybe somebody randomly subscribed or is here. Mark Baker, if you are here and I haven't gotten to your chat yet, hello and welcome. Awesome to have new subscribers. We're at 671, possibly 672, if that refreshes right. And that is amazing. You know what was funny? I'll share with you guys. This is a tap into my brain. You know what? Maybe I'll share this on Discord with the Groundbreakers, like Mark's Music Obsession. This is one thing I'll share, but I'll show you guys on stream. I'll share a closer image. This is kind of how my brain works. So I like actually made like a little like content calendar of like when I was starting out this channel, just to track like, oh, okay, I'm going to stream here. I'm going to do like a pre-recorded video here. I'm going to do a YouTube short here. And it also helped me track like what content got more viewers at the time. And, you know, just to say like, oh, okay, I'm going to focus on these kind of things versus the other. But look at these numbers. Here are the numbers. Okay, we're looking at like May 2024. The numbers in red there are like the subscribers. So I'd get like, you know, 4 subscribers this week, 3 this week. But it's like 225, 227. And now we're at 671. Is that nuts? Totally nuts. That was like 400 subscribers ago, 400 plus subscribers ago. So I'm so thankful that this channel keeps growing. It's not a huge amount of people compared to like YouTubers out there, but it's a lot for me. And I always liken it to like a classroom or when you give a talk or, you know, like a presentation or something, like the number of heads in a room. That's kind of what I likened it. Granted, YouTube's a little different. Half the people are probably not even there. More than half people are not even there. More than half of that small number are probably asleep or watching another presentation at the same time. But it just gives me a gauge of like number of eyeballs, and that's a lot. That's a lot of eyeballs. So I'm so thankful for each and every one of those 672-ish people. Let me refresh here and just see if that's true. 672. Awesome. What a great way to start this Thanksgiving week. It's good when it's made properly, but yeah, not my favorite dish on Thanksgiving. Yeah, there it is. Wait, that's MMO's Michelle, Comrade Sammy says? Yes. Yes. See? Amazing. So are you guys watching at this I'm sorry, are you watching at your house on your TV outside, Mark? Like what's the setup here? For sure she's subbed. Rocky, awesome. Thank you, Mark. That's one way to get extra subs. Just start hanging out with more people, dating them, and then they'll sub. That's another way to do it. So everybody go out and get a significant other if you don't have one already and get them to sub. We can double the amount of subscribers here. Oof, indeed, Timmy Mello. Rocky bought so many books, his number 2 cat will be fasting on yet another, or we will be serving him up. You know what I mean? Mo Biggs definitely ain't me. I have more class than that. I prefer throwing stars. K-pop junkie stopped buying any monthlies. Oh, man. But, I mean, K-pop, you, out of anybody, are one of the biggest crowdfund supporters that I'm aware of, just because you stream so much about it and you connect with the creators on that. And every time you're talking to those creators, you're like, oh yeah, I got that tier, or oh, I loved it when you sent this or whatever. And I was like, how many of these things is K-pop buying? So I understand you stopping your purchase of any monthlies. That makes sense. I think they eat prawns and stuff on Aussie Thanksgiving. No kidding. Appreciate, be thankful for stuff. Yes, for sure. That is the dodo bird. Maybe that's what they eat. That's what they ate in Australia. Stuffing, cranberry sauce is Cranberry Lander's favorite on Thanksgiving. Someone clip Rocky saying cranberry. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I just invented it right now, or created it right now. Green casserole is S tier for Thanksgiving. That's a good one for sure. And that one's got to be done right. Actually, I know some people like it when it's kind of mushy. Some people, that's just their thing. I don't. I like it with fresh green beans. And to have a little bit of, you know, bite or like resistance to it. I don't like it to be super mush. I love the dried onion covering on that. But yeah, that one's a good one. I definitely go back for seconds on that. Someone tell John he should make an alt account so he can still join us while remaining incognito. Totally. He should. And to think after tomorrow will be Christmas just like that. Yeah, no kidding. Usually we like to get our Christmas tree right after Thanksgiving. We're debating that right now because if you get it too soon, and I'd argue right after Thanksgiving is pretty soon, although I've seen some people driving with Christmas trees already. And we do like to get our fresh Christmas tree. We're not the fake Christmas tree kind of people, but nothing against the fake Christmas tree. We just like the smell of the fresh ones. But the last few years, we don't go down, like we're not the kind of people or family that goes to the Christmas tree farms. We used to do that when we were younger, but man, that's so expensive and it's kind of a hassle. So we would just go to the local hardware store or, you know, Home Depot or something to get a tree there. Pretty affordable. But Home Depot or those hardware stores don't have the best quality trees per se. They kind of dry out really fast. So there have been years, and the last couple have been the case, where we've got the tree right after Thanksgiving, and then like within a couple weeks, the needles are already falling off, and it's like my cats are eating dry needles and vomiting them all over the house. So it gets to be a little bit, by the time Christmas rolls around, you get this like fire hazard in your living room. So yeah, now we're debating, like, is it too soon? Maybe we should wait a week. I don't know. Or we could pay a little extra and get it at a tree lot, which those tend to be a little bit fresher. I don't know. I'm kind of cheap about that stuff. I'm still here. That's right. Cranberry Landers is still here. It's pretty good, but the language I'm not fond of. I like it aside from that. It's pretty good. What do you mean? It's pretty good. But the language I'm not fond of. Like it aside from that. Like Thanksgiving? We are staying home for Thanksgiving. Mark's Music Obsession says, headed to New Orleans in a couple weeks for a fun short trip. Awesome. New Orleans. Is there going to be, I know there's some sort of storm happening. Hopefully it doesn't affect you, Mark's Music Obsession. I saw that on the news. They were warning for Thanksgiving traveling that there was some sort of storm on the southern side of the U.S. So it's beautiful. It's been beautiful the last few days. It's like some gorgeous weather right now. So it's going to be great here. But yeah, hopefully you don't hit any like storms or rain when you guys go to New Orleans, because that could be a really, really fun trip. I haven't been to New Orleans in a long time. I used to be there because I used to live in Louisiana when I was younger, and New Orleans was about an hour away from where we were. So we would go there with like family and friends, but that's cool. Lots of fun stuff to do there. No turkey crime comics. Rocky missed out on Just don't try the Campbell's soup. Oh dear. Wasn't there like a recall in Campbell's soup recently? There is a comic about a chicken that fights demons for his sister. I'm trying to think the closest like foul comics that I've read recently was probably Murder Falcon by Daniel Warren Johnson. I know there was another one I saw recently that had a chicken. I think it was like a Hitman chicken or something like that, but didn't quite appeal to my tastes. This stream title was so misleading. If turkey was that moist, we wouldn't need gravy. Absolutely correct. I agree with you. I hope this Mark Baker dude isn't Rocky accidentally doxing Mark. No, I don't think so. That makes sense. No, Mark's already a subscriber. Unless he's subscribed again as Mark Baker. But he's already a subscriber. That makes sense. That makes sense that you do that. The graphs and calendar. Yes, you guys know me. What subjects got the most viewers? Anything but manga and computer hacking books. Wow, you remember that book? Rekka? You remember that? Nice. What subjects got the most viewers? It's different. I mean, kind of the stuff that I've landed on. I know that's just like a facetious question, but some of the stuff that I've landed on, like this stream, This stream is kind of my regular go-to stream, but the live streaming of the master studies get a lot of great engagement, and then the YouTube shorts I post often do. I think it's just because it's short form content. A lot of people, they don't necessarily subscribe all the time, but although I will usually get a couple subscribers from every YouTube short that I post, but they do get a lot of eyeballs on it. So it's just another way of getting people to notice this channel. Speaking of which, that master study, I said I wanted to start one of those streams earlier, but I just couldn't get it together in time. I was hoping to do it yesterday, but I was just so swamped yesterday. So we'll see. I do want to, for sure, December. I mean, we're going to start that master study in December. That's what's going to happen. So yeah, stay tuned. Sorry, apologies that I have not been able to get that launched. I'm so excited to do it. It's just finding the right time to do it. We are watching on the inside big TV. It's cool outside. Oh, okay, awesome. Watching inside, nice, great. Right about now, Mark is probably pretending to. This is one of these. Yeah. Sorry, Mark. That's the last thing you need is the peanut gallery giving you a real-time commentary. Sorry. It totally cracks me up. That's amazing. You know what would triple the amount of subscribers? Having children. Me or you? Do we need to wingman for you? Holy cow, that's too good. That is too good. He could create accounts for his cats and subscribe with them. Of course, the second cat will probably report the channel for harassment. My cats, they are so lazy. Yeah, and it will be a beautiful weather, but it is getting colder in the evenings, which is nice, right? You get into holidays, it's like kind of the heater kicks on every now and then now in the evenings and pull out all the extra blankets. And so my cats are pretty fluffy and furry and fat. And so when they're asleep, they're just like, it just makes you want to fall asleep too. So they are good for something. The idea's out there if you feel like... our tree has been up for weeks, Michael Bancroft says. Holy cow.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
I'm guessing that it's a fake tree, Bancroft, if it's been up for weeks, because that thing's going to be super dead when Christmas rolls around if you've already had it up for weeks. So the question is, is it already pre-lit, or do you have to like wrap the lights yourself? When I was a kid, we had a fake tree. Our fake tree actually was already white. It wasn't even a green tree. It was like white, like snow covered. But we would still put the lights on as a family and ornaments, etc. But then as I got to be an adult, I noticed that they were making fake trees that had the lights already built in, which I was like, that is genius. As much as I love the act of decorating the tree and it's all part of tradition, getting lights to like be evenly distributed is one of the most painful things, on top of like untangling them from your box of Christmas decorations. Such a pain. So having a pre-lit tree, I thought was like a genius invention. And if we ever do switch to getting fake trees, I will go with that route, because that would be way easier. Bancroft's thongs are hung by the gum tree with hair. Wow, okay. Mark enjoys his popcorn, Michelle says. Popcorn is awesome. It's a great thing to do while you're watching a stream like this. Pop some popcorn. Love it. Michael Bancroft, happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. Also from Australia. Is it even really Thanksgiving without John Boy? Make that alt John. I know, he needs to find a way to get in here. New Orleans is only 3 hours from my... New Orleans is only 3 hours from my place. Not going until December 9th. My birthday is the 10th. Oh, that's right. You're a December birthday. That's a great Great birthday celebration. Awesome. 3 hours. Wow, I didn't realize you were that close, Mark. That's cool. That's not too far at all for a day trip. That's great. Rocky, you mentioned that your needles fall off on your tree after you get it up. You have to put it in at least an... I know, I do. Trust me. A tablet or two of aspirin. I mean, maybe aspirin's better, but I use the what do you call it? Maybe it's a jip, but they sell you the tree food or whatever, the tree solution at the lots. I've used that before. And the tree will usually suck up the water really quick and then, quickly refill it. I've even gone as far as cutting off the end to give a fresh cut myself, or wrapping it in wet paper towels when we transport it. But it just, I don't know. It's after a certain point, the sap covers up the trunk, and then it stops drinking, and the tree just gives up after a certain point, and then it just gets really bad. But I've never tried the aspirin. Maybe I should try that this year. This will open up the vessels in the trunk of the tree. It'll help it absorb more water while you have it in your house, make it last longer. Maybe it's also because it's kind of dry here where I am, and then the heat starts going in the evenings too. So that could all be part of it. But I think a big part of it is we get cheaper trees that are probably already halfway dead by the time we get them home. Big Boy Burgers is going to be the chaperone for the New Orleans trip. The third wheel, maybe. That's right. Keep your eye on that dude. Everybody watching have children. Those cats do need to be more industrious, proactive. Nice. Every time we had real trees, they died in a matter of days due to the heat. There you go. We have a very high quality fake, but Mel decorates it every year. So now, is Mel pretty particular about the decorations? My wife is the same way. If it were me, I would probably be a little bit more haphazard and put up all the ugly ornaments from every year, or the old ornaments that kids made out of Play-Doh, but they're never color coordinated. You know what I mean? And my wife's pretty particular about the color scheme, and it's beautiful. It ends up being a beautiful tree, picture worthy. But that does discount some of the uglier ornaments that you get as either gifts or that your kids make in school. And so I think my tree, if I were to decorate it by myself, would look a little different. Who knows if I would even do a tree if I was by myself. Bancroft tree is nice one. This year's theme is green and gold. Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi. Nice. And that's funny. Speaking of which, Beats dropped that in Discord. He dropped that quiz, that Australian quiz. And I kid you not, Beats, I was guessing on all of those except maybe that one question about Billabong. And but apparently I got quite a few right, so I was surprised. I was it was literally eeny, meeny, miny, mo, or okay, this sounds right, and I guessed it. So who knows? Maybe I'll become an honorary Australian because of it. Mel is very particular. Not even the kids are allowed to touch it there. Yeah, but I bet you it's beautiful. I have an aunt who... she used to do, I don't know if she still does. I haven't visited her house in quite a while, but she used to have themes every Christmas. So it was this theme is gold, and everything would be gold, but it would change every year. This theme is glass, and all the ornaments would be glass, everything. This theme is snow or whatever. And so that was kind of cool because it would be very different, and each ornament, each light would be all part of the same theme. But that took a lot of work, and yeah, no homemade ornament would survive in that filter. So yeah, it's give and take there a little bit. Mark's Music Obsession says Michelle has a fur baby named Remy. She's a whopping 8-pound giant sheepoo. Nice. That's awesome. Remy, I love that. 8 pounds. That's maybe about half the size of one of my cats. My cats are big. They're really big. 13 out of 15. Is that what I got? I thought it was like 11. 13 out of 15. Well done, Rocky. You're Australian guessing. There were some really obscure hard, at least for me, like I was like, I have no idea. That's why I was guessing the whole time. And I kid you not, I did not Google it. I didn't chat GPT it. I was just guessing, pure guessing on that. I think you can start telling people that you're from Yabby Creek with those results. Yeah, I don't even know what that means. That's how non-Australian I am, but that's awesome. 13 out of 15. That's a great test score. I'm amazed. Okay, awesome. Make sure you guys hit the like as we get started. Phil, Zaid Comics, I hope you're still there because I'm going to open up this package from you first. I've talked about it a number of times on stream already. Oh, did you see that transition? Did you see that? Isn't that cool? It was a new update for Ecamm, but I thought that was kind of cool. So it's kind of cool to see it live. Ecamm is the streaming software I use, and it's really great. They do a lot of updates all the time. So non-sponsored plug of Ecamm, but yeah, this cool transitions. Okay, so anyway, I've talked about this a number of times on stream because this is a book that Phil, Zaid Comics, produced, and I saw the campaign, and this is the number 0, so this is kind of like their ashcan teaser of the book. But I was really excited to back this because the artwork looked amazing. I'm sure the story is going to be a lot of fun. It's got this Western theme to it, and it was also a black and white. There was a black and white. It's a black and white version of the comic, which is music to my ears. So yeah, here we go. Oh, that's right. I think Phil mentioned that he was including in, wow, nice bag and board there, Phil. He was including in a copy of one of their other comics printed in newsprint, right? Yeah. Cool. Nice. I love the newsprint feel. That's really cool. So yeah, we had a little bit of conversation with Phil, one of the streams, just in chat. He was sharing how they have access, him and his brother who make up Zaid Comics, have access to a printing press now because I believe the company they work for, the arcade shop that they work for, purchased this printing studio. And so now they use it for producing their comics, which is an awesome arrangement. And one of the things they have here is this ability to print on newsprint, which just gives you that like nostalgic comic feel to it. A lot of you guys were around when I opened up a package from Pete Sametti, who has a site called, it's something like, easy to remember, even though I can't remember now. Something like Newsprint Comics or something. But he's basically like creating a service to print newsprint comics for people. So if you have a comic, you want to print it in this like newsprint fashion, you can do that. And he had a campaign recently where you can order just a sampler to see what it prints like. So yeah, it's awesome. This is Phil's book, Magic Cop. Really cool. But yeah, it's cool to see it printed like this. And hopefully the printing process is... Like, I've never printed my own comic book, let alone been part of like an actual printing... the printing process or dealt with the printing process. So hopefully that's rewarding in and of itself, Phil. Takes a lot to produce your own book. You know what I mean? It's not just writing it, drawing it, but all the production that goes into it is a thing. So this is awesome. Thanks for the freebie. And now here is the book, The Man with No Strings. This is the book that I backed. Now this one isn't printed on newsprint. This is printed on kind of a regular stock. But I do love the black and white artwork. Artist is Oliver Isabedra. This is awesome. It says cover colors Marcos Martins, and I know they're talking about another cover because this is I picked the black and white cover option. But that's awesome. Really cool. Cool style here. And Westerns are funny. They're kind of hit or miss with me. It's not a genre that I always love, but then there's certain Westerns, like for example, Western films that are some of my favorite films of all time. But I'm not like I like every Western, you know what I mean? But this particular, there's like enough spin on it that, at least that I just saw from the campaign, that made me go, oh, that looks really cool. In particular, the Man with No Strings is a very, very cool design. It's cool. No strings attached. Yeah, I'm not familiar with Oliver's work, but he definitely has that like 90s Image Comics like pumping in his veins. It's great. Great stuff. Like this dude could totally hang with like Shelby Roberts and stuff. That's cool. Wow, look at this dude. Super beardo. Love that design. So yeah, here's the like spin on. Oh, he's kind of like Geppetto a little bit, right? Like a puppeteer. It's like a ode to Pinocchio. Cranberry Landers has become a member. No, you're already a member. Oh, it says, I see. Cranberry Landers says, no spoilers for the ending, Rocky. Got it. I am glad that you mentioned that. No spoilers. Don't spoil the ending. Okay. This book was originally intended to be an arcade game. Mark's Music Obsession also says no spoilers. Thank you guys. I will not spoil it. Okay, we'll just look at this. I'll hold off. Okay. Phil's printing company is called Fresh Prints, but he's advised you to keep the name out. Wow, that is a deep joke there. Oh, Biggs. Cranberry Landers dropped another super chat for $2. Okay, you guys, one thing I just forgot, people remind me, anytime we get super chats or gift memberships, we get the super kiwi. So here we go for you guys that just dropped the super chats. Thank you so much, Cranberry Landers. Thank you so much, Mark's Music Obsession, for your super chats, even if it's to like warn me not to spoil this. But here we go. Here's the kiwi. Okay, I just skipped ahead to some concept art. That's really cool. And yeah, that's awesome. Mo Biggs, member for 1 month, says, I'm thankful for back-to-back Kiwi babies. That's right. Because of these super chats, here we go. Sorry, I'm a little bit behind. Because of these super chats, Jinx. We'll give you another kiwi. Let's kiwi it up, man. Kiwi belongs in Thanksgiving meal. Okay, there we go. I stopped. I was getting too much for some people. Zaid Comics says, looks away. Sorry. I didn't realize we were so sensitive to spoilers. Understandably so. I have a good friend of mine, pretty good friend of mine, who is like just as big of a comics nerd as I am. And he's like, I can't ever watch your show because you flip through the whole book. And I'm like, well, I don't know. That's just kind of part of it. So yeah, I will not flip through any more of this. This is awesome. Go back at you guys. Even if I may have or may not have spoiled some stuff, it looks awesome. And I can't wait for the actual full book or colored rendition or whatever to come out. So go support Phil. Go back. Independent comics out there. The artwork looks great. The story looks very interesting, and the printing quality is great. Phil, good job. That's my first package. The Man with No Strings, with a bonus issue of Magic Cop #1, printed in newsprint. Okay, let's keep moving along here. This is the one that I'm not sure. Let's see. This is the one that I'm not sure of. Thanks for the support, man. Can't wait to hear what you think of the story. Thank you. Next issue is almost done being lettered. Oh, awesome. And Phil, I don't even know how you do it. Is this from you, Cranberry? I don't even know how you do it. How you do the lettering. Cranberry Langers. Is this from you? Let's see. Sorry, just catching up here. All right, sorry. Everybody's like, no. Okay, hopefully I didn't mess anything up. Cranberry Langers, let me know. Is this from you? This is you're the only reference I could think of that would send an Animal Man, or that even talks about Animal Man. So let me know if this is you, Cranberry Langers. This is what was in the other package. There's no note, nothing. I just got it in my mailbox. All right, if it's from me, the first one's coming soon. Cranberry Langers says. It's from me. Oh, okay. Dude, thank you so much. So Cranberry Langers, I don't know if you guys remember or not, has been telling me to read this run on Animal Man. And I couldn't, for the life of me, find a copy of it. Either people I knew or at the store, or I was kind of hunting for it more specifically like at our library. Because our library has great graphic novels, and it's just a way of, like, especially stuff that's not super current. It's harder to find that in stores these days. We kind of got to go to specific stores that carry back issues on graphic novels. So, but anyway, Cranberry Langers has been telling me about this Animal Man, and there's been a few runs on Animal Man written by different people, different art teams, but he's been telling me about this one in particular. And thank you so much for sending this to me. I am really glad you did. Volume 2. So you said Volume 1 is coming? You sent another one? But this is cool. So Steve Pugh, is that how you pronounce his name? Is the artist on this. Jeff Lemire is the writer. What is the name of that book that Jeff Lemire is really known for? I feel like it's more of an indie book. But yeah, Animal Man's one of those characters that I never really dug into. I've seen him written like kind of seriously and then some tongue in cheek. Those are some of the versions here, so I'm not sure which one. This looks a little bit more serious, but that's cool. I love me the recommendations when people come in with recommendations, and Cranberry's been great about that. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this, Cranberry. It's cool. I am familiar with Stephen Pugh's work, but you know, there hasn't been like a particular book that I'm like, oh, that's the one that but this looks cool. And these animals look like different. These don't look like your typical animals. There seems like a horror aspect to it. Cool. I already like it. Yeah, at least one of the versions that I read of him, it was kind of jokey. He was like a B tier, C tier joke of the fact that he could talk to animals or interact with animals. So, but this one seems like it's taking a more serious approach on his abilities. And he's just shirtless the whole time. What's up with that? I like this classic costume. Is he just shirtless this whole time? Is this why you like the book? It's cool. That's actually from Cranberry Langer's cousin. Oh. Nice. It's from Ocean Spray. Yes. Happy Thanksgiving all. What's up, Lindsay Rose?
Roses are red. Violets are blue.
Happy Thanksgiving to you too. Thank you for coming. Great seeing you here. Happy Thanksgiving. Lindsay Rose says, I can't remember. You know, I'm Lindsay Rose. Yes. We need to have another Aussie quiz. Another one? Rocky versus Bancroft. Who is more Aussie? Winner gets the title of Governor General of Comics. Jeez Louise. Cranberry Landers is feeling a little sick. You know, this is definitely the time of sickness for sure. It's because the weather changes, people traveling, coming back from school. Wow, this gets all trippy otherworldly. You guys gonna start screaming at me to not spoil this one too? This is just how I do it. Wow, this is cool. This is not a side of Animal Man that I've seen. Oh, look. Is this Constantine? Yeah, it's so funny. Pugh's artwork, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, gets this like realistic quality to it, but then stuff goes, it's not your typical realism. Realism, there's like exaggeration to it. It reminds me a little bit of like Brian Stelfreeze's work, Tony Harris, those guys that have like realistic reference in their artwork, but they treat it in a more graphic, simplified way, if that makes any sense. I can't quite pinpoint his influences. It's cool. I like it. Definitely not the Animal Man that I grew up with. Cool. This is great. Thank you so much, Cranberry. I look forward to reading this. part of the New 52. It's got slightly like, I mean, I guess because like Swamp Thing is guest starring in here, but it's got this slightly like off the beaten path, Vertigo kind of feel to it. Which I guess maybe that's a better place for Animal Man to live. When you put him next to like superheroes like Superman or Wonder Woman or Batman or whatever, that's where the hokiness comes out, and that's where they play him up as like this comedic relief. But when you put him in this more darker, non-superhero world, it looks like you can kind of flesh out his character more. Just me spitballing over looking at this. Looks cool. Awesome. Great character work, great art. He's regarded as a DF tier hero. It's a really good book. Awesome. Mark, don't look at me. You ain't gonna see me prevent Emo from her chaos. Oh yeah, where is the derailer? Somebody said the derailer was locked up. Nobody can lock up the derailer. If you say that enough times, she's gonna come in here with all caps. The winner gets the hand of Gladys Berejiklian in marriage. If John were here, I could bug him to bug Emo to get in here. Other people can, or you could join Discord, Comrade Sammy, and do it yourself. You know, I'm just saying. Just saying. Discord link is pinned in the chat. I'm ahead of you guys. Can't beat me. Yes, if you guys want, join Discord. We have a Discord channel. I set up a Discord channel a few months ago, and it's been really fun. It's fun. We had a couple new members over the last week or two, and there's just all sorts of discussion, just like the Aussie quiz that Beats dropped in there. We've been sharing some artwork. Phil Zaid Comics has been sharing some artwork in there. Other people like Brunson, Irwin, those guys have been sharing some stuff in the art drop. And there's also a section for artists that I admire. And I'm trying to make it like a catalog of just reference of different artists, like images that they've created or artwork that they've done, and just a place for people to just, discover new artists, new comic book artists. So the last one I did was, who was the last one? Oh, Duncan Fegredo. Yes. Let me see that. That's worth sharing. Duncan Fegredo. So this is on Discord, and look at this stuff that Duncan Fegredo did. He's amazing. He's my second favorite Hellboy artist. Mike Mignola being my favorite, but Duncan Fegredo's artwork is incredible. He's an incredible painter too, not just a sequential artist, but a painter, and he's been around for a long time. This is a cover he did for Redcoat. So cool. He's another one that, like, you can tell he uses reference, whether it's himself or photos or whatever, but it's stylized, and I love that. I love that combo because it gives a sense of reality, a sense of believability, but not so real that it loses any kind of exaggeration or life. This is Marv from Sin City. And then this is some of his sequential work, which is awesome. Beautiful stuff. So yeah, Fegredo's there. And then there's a couple artists that in that list, there's a couple artists in here that we're going to look at some of their work today. So yeah, just a fun place for people to drop more links for the conversation to continue outside of my stream. And yeah, I'd love to have you guys there. The link is pinned in the chat if you want to join. It doesn't cost anything to join, but it's a really fun time. Speaking of which, our next book. So one of the things I got to do this past weekend, and probably why my pile is a lot larger this week than not, is I went to a great comic book store in the East Bay called Cape and Cowl, and they have a decent sized back issue section there. One thing about Cape and Cal, they're amazing store. It's beautiful, great setup, great place. I've not filmed a video there. I should. I've kind of taken a pause on doing those videos, but they their store is awesome. They just had a signing first week of November, second week of November, maybe. The people that they had to do a signing there was Nick Dragotta, the artist on Absolute Batman, and Daniel Warren Johnson. Both were there at that signing. You can't get bigger than those two names right now in mainstream comics. And so when I heard that and I saw the advertisement, I'm like, whoa, those guys are out here. So it crossed my mind. I was like, maybe I should go and try and see the signing. But I knew it would be probably pretty crazy. So anyway, I ended up not going. I was like, it's okay. I'm not the kind of person to wait in line not wait in a long line, just for a signature. Like I'm more willing to wait in line if I'm going to get to have a conversation with an artist or whatever, get to know them better, know a little bit more of their work. So I went to the store this weekend and, just, went and found some back issues. This is one of them. And, I asked the owner, the owner happened to be checking me out, like not checking me out, but checking out my comics. And I asked them, I said, oh, how did the signing go? And so their store opens, I think at 11. He said people were lining up at 4 a.m. for the signing. And a good number of people had driven all night long from LA, which is about a 6 to 7 hour drive if you're lucky, from here, from Northern California. And they drove all the way from LA and got there at 4 a.m. to sit outside and wait in line for this signing, which is nuts. And then I think the store normally closes at, I think it was at 6 or 7 o'clock in the evening. And he said they ended up closing at 11 because they were trying to just fit in as many signatures as they could. So needless to say, it was crazy. He said that he has never had the biggest turnout or sales than he had that day. And that store has been around a long time. So really, I was super happy for them. But at the same time, I was really happy that I didn't go myself, because that would have been insane. I would have turned around, I'm pretty sure, if I saw that kind of line. So anyway, it's exciting. It's really exciting. But I got to go to that store and not during the signing, explore through their back issue box. And this was one of the issues I found, which I've actually been on a Mark Texiera kick, he's one of the artists that is on that Discord channel. He's one of the artists that I highlighted and posted up some of his work. And particularly because maybe a few weeks ago I found a back issue of Sabretooth that Tex did, which was awesome. And I was just like, oh yeah, and it made me start remembering his work. And Union is a book that he produced with Image Comics, a creator-owned book. It came out and I didn't really follow it. I remember buying issue 1 and probably 2 or 3, but I didn't follow it. So I don't know how many issues it went, but it was just cool to find this again, because I don't know where my original Union issues are actually. So it was kind of cool to revisit this and just see some of Tex's artwork. But here we go. Like, he's just got a really cool style. And just like that Sabretooth that we looked at a couple of weeks ago, his anatomy is just all jacked up and crazy. And he's got this really nice illustrative style to his work. So it's cool to see him just work on a creator-owned thing. Let me see. Oh, Union was copyright Aegis Entertainment, which I believe was started by, I thought that was the banner that, Jim Lee had started. So I guess maybe this could have been a Oh, here, Jim Lee's a co-creator along with the writer Mike Heisler. So I guess they created this character and just hired Mark Texiera to draw it. But he's got such a cool style. I think I said last stream that the closest influence I could see probably on Texiera's work was Neil Adams. Has a similar like sketchy, crosshatchy style, realistic but super exaggerated anatomy. This is like a classic Texiera body pose. His male characters have so many muscles. They have like 12 packs. This is exactly how he drew Sabretooth. Oh, I love this. Yeah, I can't remember for the life of me Union's story, but I do love this like staff that he has. It's pretty awesome. This is Velocity from Cyberforce, Mark Silvestri's team. And a lot of these Image books, it was cool. It was cool how they tried to cross over the universes. So many of the characters were really different. Youngblood, Spawn, Wildcats, all those first run of Image books. They had, they were just creators creating whatever they wanted. But I appreciated that they were trying to unify Image, especially as it was being built as like a one universe that they all lived in. So they would do this frequently where they would cross over or like a character would visit another character's book. That's awesome. Yeah, this kind of hatching stuff is great. A lot of people don't do this anymore. But you can tell that like Texiera knows anatomy, knows how to draw faces and muscles and skin and bones. It's really cool. Like this was the who's this artist? I know that inker's Trevor Scott. Who's the artist? Ryan something I don't recognize. But this was kind of the classic Image style, right? Then Tex would come out with this. So different. Really different from the flavor that Image or the Image books had at the time. So I just love it. I just love that he stood out differently. And then he could paint like amazing also. Yeah, this is Jim Lee. I mean, Jim Lee was so hot at the time. Like his whole style was dominating. Like all these artists, Brett Booth, Scott Clark, all of them, they all just kind of lived in that Jim Lee world. And Tex was his own thing, J. Scott Campbell. That's cool. So yeah, I love it. Union's a great little book. I'll have to research and see how many issues actually came out that he drew. I know they continued the book on after he left the team. And in my opinion, wasn't as cool. So yeah, I'm curious to see how many that Mark Texiera drew. Cranberry Langer says, oh, this is Animal Man. It's a more realistic take. It's got great dialogue as a new spin on Animal Man and has had reprints multiple times. Nice. Someone should tell Rocky we can't technically scream at him, only express our frustrations through capital letters. Yes. It's more of a, and what is also hard is there's a slight delay from what you guys see and what I am streaming, right? So I'm already like in that particular pace, I might have flipped a page one too often or one too far already. And you guys are like, stop. And it's too late. Cranberry Lane just says, it's more of a body horror drama superhero book. Supernatural. That's a good description. This is Michelle's Little Remy. Oh, nice. Okay, let's see. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's see. We got to share this. This is awesome. Come on now. Super cute. She's like a little Ewok. Aw, that's super cute. I love it. Remy. That's a great name. Oh, Biggs. Michelle, I don't know if Mark has filled you in, but there is an ongoing myth of the pig feeder lady on stream here. And I didn't even meet her. She's just somebody who works at my local zoo, but it's turned into a huge part of this channel thanks to Mo Biggs. So that's what he's referring to. It's more of a Marvel style than usual DC books. Yeah, that's pretty much the approach that you guessed. Yeah, it really works really well. It's kind of like Spider-Man in tone character. Oh, no kidding. Something about speaking of devils and then coming with great wrath. Something about speaking of devils and then coming with great wrath. I was thankful that Rocky wasn't carpet bombing Discord plugs. It's become natural. Totally natural now. Mark's Music Session dropping the link for Fourth Wall. Here we go. So this is not a Discord plug. It's a Fourth Wall plug. Fourth Wall is another seat. That link that Mark dropped is for my Fourth Wall site. And it's kind of where I'm building more of a commerce kind of site for myself, or a Patreon if that is something that's more familiar to you guys. But yeah, you can subscribe on me there, and I try and give some insider peeks to things, because if people are willing to support me in that way, I got to give them some, something worth it. So the main thing right now that is I'm sharing on Fourth Wall with Fourth Wall members is for my master studies, which are recreations of original comic book pages. I'm posting high-res scans there just for Fourth Wall members. So it's fun. You guys get to watch me live stream and draw it, and then I'll post an image at the end of the stream, or I'm sorry, at the end of when I'm done with the piece of art. But that's it. So I haven't gotten to the point where I'm like selling those pieces of art yet or making prints yet. That's all kind of in the works. But in the meantime, what I like to do is scan them in and make high-res scans of those, and then make those available to people who are Fourth Wall backers. So if that interests you, that's there. It's an affordable way to see some original art as opposed to paying for the art piece itself. You can join me on Fourth Wall as well. So that's a non-Discord plug. That last one was dark. I still need to put up my favorite artist reference albums. Yes, do it, Timmy Mello. I don't want to be the only one posting artists that I like, because I know there's a lot of great artists out there. Some people like more than I do, but I'm always loving finding new artists, learning about new artists and all that. One of which, going back to Discord, I had posted one of those artist folders for Kyle Hotz. And Phil shared, because he's a big Kyle Hotz fan, he shared a book that he bought from Kyle Hotz's site called Mosaic. And I believe Phil got it. So I went to Kyle Hotz's site and I looked at that book. They had a couple pages that he showed the interiors, and I was like, I want that. So Phil, I actually bought it because of your recommendation. So thank you very much. That is another book that is coming in the future, but it looks amazing. And Kyle Hotz he's one of those underrated. I don't think he's underrated necessarily, because people who see his artwork know he's amazing. I'm just waiting for his huge breakout hit. I think he's like on the cusp of it, because everything he does now, all the newest stuff that he's done, the Lobo one shot he did, the Violator one shot he did, is just mind blowing. So he's worked in comics for a long time. I've just now recently become familiar with his work, maybe in the last year or so. And I bring all that up because also at Cape and Cowl, I found these back issues, which are illustrated by none other Kyle Holtz, written by Paul Jenkins. It's a series called The Agency. I've never heard of this before. It's a 6-issue series, and I found all 6 issues in their dollar bin. Because the nice thing about, sorry for the shine here. The nice thing about a store like Cape and Cowl is they have back issues that are priced according to whatever the comic guides, whatever, so they range anything from $5 to like $25. Oh, I posted a picture on Discord of the Web of Spider-Man. Some of you guys saw that. I saw they were selling the Web of Spider-Man #1 for, I think it was $25. But that was that was the last master study I did, was of that cover. And so it was just cool to see it there and share that with you guys. That's the fun stuff about Discord. But anyway, so they have those back issues you can buy. But then they also have separate bins that are just dollar bins. And those are my favorite to rifle through and find little hidden gems. And the cool thing is sometimes a lot of stores, when they have a dollar bin, it's pretty, a crapshoot whether or not you're going to find anything good. Most of the time it's like, oh yeah, I can see why this is $1. But, you will find some hidden gems there. And that's why I take the time to look through those bins. But Cape and Cowl, they had a lot of cool stuff like that Union, like this. And there is really good quality too. They were all bagged. And, it's pretty much great condition for the books. And I also love that I found the whole series. Because usually when you find stuff in dollar bins, you're only finding 1 issue out of 6 or a couple issues that are out of order, and then you have to keep hunting for the rest of it. But I love that I found all of these here. So anyway, let's look at a few of these. We don't have to look through all of them, but this is, what year is this? 2001. Holy moly. 24 years ago. See, Kyle Holtz has been working in comics for a long time. And his style is a little different now, but you can see hints already of his greatness in this. I mean, this is awesome, but where he is now as an artist is like crazy good. So yeah, I don't know anything about this book. I looked it up quickly or briefly, and I think that they have a graphic novel that you can find somewhere of the whole series. But yeah, he uses a lot of shadows in his stuff, a lot of feathering, hatching. It's cool stuff. He reminds me of, he's got some Bernie Wrightson influence in his work. Kelly Jones is another artist that I can see lives in this style. He does, I mean, in his newer stuff, he does a lot of this, like, not necessarily horror, but, I mean, this is horror, but like sinewy kind of musculature, anatomy, alien stuff. This feels like some sort of like cyberpunk story. But I just love how dark it is. Some of this actually even reminds me of Joe Quesada a little bit, some earlier Quesada stuff. And this was released under Top Cow, which is Mark Silvestri's banner at the time. Yeah, this kind of reminds me of some of where Kyle Hotz is now. That's not what I meant. Yes, you can see it coming. Love Texas Sabretooth work. Yeah, it's amazing. Really good. Don't blame me. Rocky was the one. Texas style works for Sabretooth because Sabretooth is crazy. Yes. And it's kind of interesting you say that because Union is a little bit more, maybe like a clean superhero, if that makes sense. Like his costume, and Sabretooth is a lot more gritty, down and dirty. So yeah, I can see that. I can see his style working better for Sabretooth than Union. I don't know if you guys remember, there was one artist, I had an artist edition book of his called Nick Manabat. He passed away really young, but he got his start working with Jim Lee on a series called Cybernary. I can see him kind of fitting in this world too. It's like dark, really crazy anatomy, very edgy work. Yeah, actually, a lot of this does remind me of Quesada. I wonder if Kyle Hotz was looking at Quesada's work. Feels very Quesada-esque. Interesting. Okay. Look at a couple more issues here, but just wanted to let you guys get a sense of this series and Kyle's, in particular, Kyle Hotz's artwork. It's funny to see them do this, like, kind of try to make it like movie credits. I've seen people do this a number of times in comics, and it's cool, but at the same time, there are similarities between comic storytelling and cinematic storytelling, but they're also really different. So I almost like, oh, that's disturbing. I almost like it to make it feel like a movie is cool, but I'd rather them just embrace the strength of being a comic instead, as opposed to trying to be like a makeshift faux movie, you know. Yeah, this gets really gnarly. And I do get a sense that Kyle Hotz's work does that. He goes into dark places like that. Even when he's drawing regular superheroes. I think he drew an issue of like Blackest Night or something like that, and it looked pretty dark. This is gross. Crazy. Okay, we'll look at one more. I won't look at issue 6, because then I'd be doing another spoiler. Just do issue 4. Yeah, this reminds me of, this definitely has some sort of cybernary feel to it, like same world. Getting some weird stuff here. Okay. Well, you guys get the picture, the agency about Paul Jenkins and Kyle Hotz. Really, really fun. It's not like I was looking for it. I just saw it. I was like, oh, Kyle Hutz. And I was like, oh, there's another issue. Oh, it's all 6 issues. So yeah, it was great. $6 for all these. Super deal. Jim Lee is from Kanga Creek, not Wagga. Michelle knew about the lime jello, Lindsay Rose. She is from Butler, Pennsylvania. They also do orange peach versions. No kidding. Whoa. Bet those are pretty good. Peach and orange. Like just the jello? They're not putting actual peach and orange in it, right? That's cool. A slight delay. Yes. I don't mind the fourth wall plugs, Mo Big says. It's the relentless Discord peer pressure propaganda I take issue with. Sumo Thori's in the house, channel member. Sumo Thori, happy Thanksgiving to you, driving and listening. Awesome having you. Maybe you're driving to Thanksgiving. That's great. Hope you and your family have a great time. Popping briefly in to say hello and thanks for the copies of Redcoat Emo Trash. There's the derailer. You are welcome, Emo Trash. So what she's referring to is there's a certain site that Mo Biggs does not like. And on that site, I also do a YouTube challenge. Although for the month of November, I paused on that because we had 2 winners in October. One of them was Cranberry Langers and Emo Trash. The other one was Emo Trash. So what it was I put a weekly YouTube challenge. I called it a YouTube challenge where I would just ask questions about my channel, and whoever answered it correctly first would get a point, and whoever had the most points would win for that month, and I sent them a little prize. So both Cranberry Langers and Emo Trash tied for the month of October. I couldn't think of like a tiebreaker thing to do, so I just ended up sending them both a little prize. And what I did send to Emo Trash was a few copies of Redcoat that I know that's a series that she liked and has mentioned that she liked when I've reviewed them on stream. So I thought, I don't think that Emo Trash bought any copies of Redcoat herself, so I sent her a few issues. So glad you got it, Emo Trash. Hope you enjoy that. And the sticker. Yes. I stuck the sticker on my sketchbook because it brought me joy. Nice. You can't spell mosaic without Mo. True. That is true. Tipple Green. Lindsay Rose says, not a fan of the cover. That's tomorrow, huh? Yeah, Thanksgiving is tomorrow. Got the notice for the video premiere in a while, Bancroft. No art share tonight. Oh, yeah, Bancroft does art share. I was wondering if I would collide with that. I might. I've got someone coming over, so can't stream. Thought I'd put up a video instead. Nice. Get the ash can. Bancroft is having some deep discussions with Rod. Get the ash can. What ash can? Are you behind? Am I behind? I'm definitely behind. Sorry, I have to get my scissors here. Okay, let's look through this one really quick. This has been surprisingly... So another store I went to in the East Bay is called Dr. Comics and Mr. Games. Another great store in the East Bay. East Bay has some great stores. We have got good stores here in San Francisco, but East Bay's got some killers. I could name at least 3 stores in the East Bay that are like strong contenders for great stores. And Dr. Comics and Mr. Games is one of them. And the great thing about, and what makes a good store for me is a lot of current stock. Right? So it's not like, oh, you only have a couple issues and then they sell out. It's like they have enough that even if you wander in a couple days later, you can still get what you're looking for. I also like stores that maintain, a few weeks of back issues from the previous weeks there, so that if you miss a week, you can find what you're looking for that was out a couple weeks ago. And I love that they have great libraries of graphic novels, and then back issues are a big deal for me. I love sifting through back issues, both priced and dollar boxes. So Dr. Comics and Mr. Games has all of that stuff. They've got really nice staff there too. And all that to say, like, this book, Wolverine Revenge, these black and white editions have been actually kind of hard to find. The series is already done by Hickman and Capullo, and it finished. It was okay. It wasn't phenomenal, but it was, it was all right. It was good for a one-off kind of Wolverine story, and it was just a chance to see Greg Capullo draw all of the Wolverine characters, the Rogues Gallery of characters. But then they like quietly slipped out this release of each issue in black and white form, but not only in black and white form, the scanned pencils. That is awesome, and that's not very common. What has been common for comics is them releasing like a noir of it. They'll call it a noir edition or a black and white edition, and they'll just release like black and white artwork, like the finished inks. That's cool, but to see scanned pencils is like on the level of an artist edition for like deep collectors or deep fans of the art. But then usually these come in those like bigger formats, 11 by 17, and then they cost like $100. And so those aren't always affordable. So it's really neat to see them invest the money to produce the whole series. So I think this was a 6-issue comic, and they've been releasing every single issue of just the pencils scanned. Now, not everybody wants that. I recognize that. I'm one of maybe a handful of people that really enjoy that and really love seeing the original pencils, probably because I'm an artist myself and I just love the craft of comic books. So it's great to see this from the hand of Greg Capullo. But because it's more of a niche audience, they don't have a high print run, and it's harder to find them in local stores. So I appreciate that Dr. Comics and Mr. Games had this still. I didn't even know that this issue came out. This is issue 4. I picked up the first 3 and have found them in different places. But I didn't even know that issue 4 already came out. So I found this one there this weekend. But it's cool. Not to belabor the point at all, but it's just awesome to see Capullo's pencil artwork here, and it's just super tight. No colors. And it's great that he's still drawing traditionally. I think he does both. I think he draws traditionally and digitally, depending on the book. But yeah, it's awesome to see that he did this traditionally. It's cool. It's just such a craft, man. It's just so fun and inspiring to see process. Every time you can peel back that onion of the process of making comics, it just makes you appreciate it that much more. That's gnarly. Yeah, so as long as I can keep finding them, I'm definitely going to pick up the whole series, black and white. It's great. So this is the black and white. I guess for the covers, they do the black and white of the inks, which also looks really cool. But yeah, there's just something about the pencils that are nice. Not very common. So there we go. Nice little find. Wolverine Revenge, black and white edition, number 4. Top Cow has some great little runs. Check out Spirit of the Tao. Oh, I've heard of that. That kind of came out at the same time as, I want to say, like Michael Turner stuff, right? Like Aspen and Fathom, right? Wasn't that all around the time? It's just basically like sexy girl we'll just throw her in the water. Okay, that's Fathom. Sexy girl in Asia. Spirit of the Tao. It's a good formula. We're still asking that very question all these years later. Marks me succession. Mo Biggs, Michelle said, who is this grumpy Rob guy? Dang. Yes. He's awesome. Most people call him that dummy. Dang. I went and watched a Tim Pool video while Rocky was spoiling Phil's book. Sorry. Mr. Monkey Boy 1969 is here.
How do you say monkey in French?
Sorry, Mr. Monkey Boy 1969. I apparently spoiled a book I shouldn't have. But is that going to stop you from buying it? Is that really going to stop you from enjoying it? Come on. It's good. I didn't spoil nothing. Yes. You guys were throwing money at me. That's going to be my strategy. I'm going to like look at stuff and then get to spoiling it. And you guys just throw money at me to stop it. I'm like, oh, sorry. Happy Thanksgiving, Mr. Monkey Boy 1969. Crushed orange would be tasty. Yeah. I would be into that Jello. I can see it being that Jello recipe. For those of you who don't know, there's a lime Jello recipe I tried out on stream, thanks to Lindsay Rose. I would be interested in that kind of recipe with fresh peaches or canned peaches, but like orange. If it's just orange flavored Jello, I don't know. But crushed orange, that would be interesting. My favorite is orange Jello. Really? Okay, maybe I haven't tried it enough to remember orange Jello, Michelle. It's like lime. Even though it's artificial flavor lime, it almost is like, okay, but like when you have orange that's artificial flavored orange versus real flavored orange, that's not true. I guess I do like I love Sunkissed. Yeah, that's true. I'd be willing to try an orange one. Notice the so-called YouTube challenge is not a YouTube, but exclusively Discord. Good point. No, I did not. I have to save money for my year and expensive cat. Okay, good. Well then, I'm glad I didn't buy you books that you already had. That would stink. Are you behind? Yes. Am I 75 behind? No. Union ad. Oh, yeah. That is actually, I have an ongoing list on my phone of books that I hunt for, and the Union Ashcan actually is one of them. That would be amazing to see Texas artwork. For those of you who don't know, Ashcans, they usually produce those for comics as a teaser. They'll give them to like comic book stores, or sometimes they'll bring them to cons just to get people excited about an upcoming book. And those were super popular in the 90s and 2000s. They would do Ashcans for whatever the next big launch was. They do limited runs. They're smaller in size, just a teaser. And now they're really hard to find for some of those older books like Union or any of the old Image books. And they're pretty expensive too. So that Union one, but the nice thing is they'll produce because they wouldn't be done with the book yet, they would just do the inks or sometimes just the pencils in the Ashcan. And that's kind of why I like them a lot. They do these in France as well. Yes. Nice horsies. It's pretty cool, like going to a restaurant and ordering the chef's edition of uncooked food. Always like seeing the pencils, right? It's really cool. Steak tartare. Yes. High blinky light. You can't see the blinky light. What are you talking about? You're lying. You can't see it. It's off screen here. Great cover on the Wolverine one. Yes. Yes. There you go. It should come with the script and blank word balloon so you can do your own lettering. It's kind of like self-checkout for comics. They're like, here's a blank page. Just fill it in. It's called the Artist Edition. Mr. Monkey Boy 1969 does not buy any books. They just changed the Jello type. Oh, okay. Huh. That'd be cool to do like lime, orange, and peach as like a sampler. That would be really cool. I like canned peaches. Yes. In that like sweet syrup. There you go. There you go. That's what the people want. Orange Jello is like lime Jello, but orange flavored. Eventually the concept will no longer baffle you. All right. Fair enough. What's up, Brunson? How are you doing? Thanks for coming in. Brunson's got his own book too. Ghost Boy, which is looking awesome. And he's posting up some cool work on Discord and on Instagram. I love seeing Brunson's work. All right, here we go. Here's another book I picked up at Dr. Comics and Mr. Games. Rob Liefeld has relaunched Youngblood. There might be people out there that hate Rob Liefeld. I particularly love Rob Liefeld. Not that I think like he's the greatest artist of all time, but he has solidified a place in my heart as a boy growing up in the 80s and 90s and loving comics at that time. It's like Rob Liefeld was one of those, superstars. And he was also one of the co-founders of Image Comics, along with Todd McFarlane, Jim Lee, Mark Silvestri. And Youngblood was his Flashpoint. Youngblood was his flagship title. So long story short, there was a lot of, he used to put everything into Youngblood. That was his team book. Built a lot of his Image popularity off of Youngblood, and then something happened with the rights where he sold the rights off, and I think regretted it shortly thereafter. So he lost for whatever reason, he lost control of Youngblood and was not able to work on that book. So he focused on other stuff like Prophet and a bunch of different other titles that he was doing. But he always kind of, I don't want to say pined after Youngblood, but you could tell that he regretted that decision of losing the rights on it. So I don't know what happened, but recently, maybe within the last 5 years, he got the rights back. And so he's been hyping up this relaunch into doing Youngblood all over again. And it was kind of preceded. He's doing a few things where he re-released the first 4 issues of the original series and recolored them, remastered them, and produced them as floppies again. So I bought all those because it was just kind of a blast for a pass. I've looked at those on stream. It's been really fun. They look great. They still hold up. Fun stuff. The story's not like super deep, but it's like typical Image 90s, 2000s exciting comics. But this Youngblood is now his new stories that he's coming up for now that he's got the rights back. This cover is a Daniel Warren Johnson cover who, funny enough, I mean, we've reviewed and looked at Daniel Warren Johnson's artwork a lot on this channel. And he's just, one of those hot creators, but it's funny. He's doing a lot of variant covers and, they're all awesome. So when I saw this on the rack, I was like, that is so freaking cool. Like I would love to see Daniel Warren Johnson draw Youngblood. It's just because he just gives it like a lot of like aggressive energy and just looks cool, like really modern. But Rob Liefeld is drawing Youngblood. He announced, I don't know how many variant covers on this issue 1. And if you don't know anything about Rob Liefeld, he is a hype man through and through. He has always been. And so he knows how to hype his stuff. and like just make a big deal out of it. So I don't know how many variant covers there are for this this launch of Youngblood, but regardless, this was DWJ's. And the other thing that was really cool, and I actually didn't know they were doing this, but found it on, it was just on the rack next to this cover, was Rob Liefeld did you're going to love this, Mo Biggs, he did a manga edition of Youngblood. And so it's actually the same exact book, but he colored it and had it colored using screen tones, just like manga artists do. So it actually looks different. So I thought it would be kind of cool to look at both of them side by side and you can see the difference in it. But yeah, it's crazy. And I think I like this one better. So yeah, let's look at these. This is cool. It's just the way for Rob Liefeld to just repurpose the artwork on one issue and just release like 1,000 covers. So this one, even though DWJ did the cover, Rob Liefeld did the interior art and did the story, the pencils, the inks. And then the colorist is a guy by the name of Juan Manuel Rodriguez. Don't know him that much, or I don't know of him at all. And then here on the Youngblood manga edition, Seth DeMoose did the manga tones on top of Rob Liefeld's black and white art. So Seth DeMoose did he did a Youngblood. Do I even have that? There was something I looked at on stream. I don't even know where it is to look for it. But I did there was something that Rob was selling on his shop. That's a Bad Rock one-shot that Seth DeMoose did the artwork for. And he did these kind of screen tones. I think he's doing them digitally as opposed to how I did screen tones on the Web of Spider-Man cover, which was physically or traditionally. I think he's doing these digitally. But yeah, you can just see the difference in feel here. And it's kind of cool just, to see what the color artist is doing and what Seth DeMoose is doing with the screen tones. So here we go. Here's all the characters we know and love. Shaft, Chapel, Bad Rock, Vogue, Die Hard. These are the original. I mean, there was actually a lot more characters in the original Youngblood, but these were the core 5, I'd say. And then you can see this panel here with these screen tones. So it's kind of cool, and he's doing his own thing. Like, it's not like he's just converting this color imagery into screen tones. He's making different choices with the lighting and what kind of tones he's using. And it's got a totally different feel. So when I was looking at these two books, I was like, I kind of want both of them because they have very different feels to each one. "57 variants," Mr. Monkey 1969 says. There's Todd McFarlane, then right after him is Rob Liefeld. There we go. You should pick up some artist editions to see Liefeld at his uninked best. I have my eyes set on the Youngblood artist edition, which hasn't been released yet, but is coming out. He's doing an artist edition, a big format, the original scans of the first, I believe it was the first 4 issues of Youngblood, if not 6. So yeah, that's going to be great. Did he finally learn to draw feet? We'll find out. It's funny because Rob Liefeld, along with being a crazy hype man, is also he loves like flame wars on social media. Like he will come out swinging if anybody takes a shot at him, at either his artwork or his reputation, and he'll just come out full force swinging at people. Because, I mean, like him or not, the dude created Deadpool, Cable, those are the big ones. but a bunch of different side characters and minor characters and X-Force, all that kind of stuff. Like, he really made his mark on modern day comics, along with starting Image Comics. So there's Chapel, Vogue, Shaft, Die Hard, and Bad Rock. And here's the money shot here. Oh, holy cow. I didn't even know that. Check it out, guys. Totally different double pager. Different art. That's interesting that he would make that decision. I thought it was all the same line art and just different coloring technique. That's cool. He's like, whatever, anatomy. Just gonna fill it in with some marks. Oh no, it's the same. So hang on one second. It's cool. Everything is like, I don't think Rob Liefeld draws backgrounds anymore, really. Or did he ever? He's just, every shot is like the money shot for him. But as you can see, I don't know if it's clear enough here, it just feels totally different. These two books feel totally different from each other. And it's just because the coloring approach is different. So I know we focus on the artists, sometimes the writers on particular books, but colorists make a huge impact on the outcome of artwork. It's really a team kind of effort, or you just do it all yourself. I mean, look at this. Like, whoa, oh my gosh, he's got a sword and an energy sword and a shield here. Totally feels different. Actually loses a little bit of its focus here. I'm not even looking at this page. I'm not even looking at that energy sword. I'm looking more at this big shape here, high contrast on the face. But this one, it's like, my eye goes straight to that flaming sword. And then one thing I noticed that Seth Demus does is he just does the blood his own way. And he did a lot more than this. I don't know if it was the colorist's job to do the blood, but he did it totally differently and just made it more violent with his use of blood here. That's the color. Rob Liefeld always designed these like nondescript, geometric shaped weapons. They never made any sense, but were just kind of cool. This guy might as well be Deadpool. So there are the Rob Liefeld go-tos here that he's just milking for all it's worth. He's like, I made so much money off of Deadpool, maybe I could create another Deadpool. But he's got claws. And then Wolverine's popular, so I'm going to put 3 arrows on Shaft's hands like this. Like you can just kind of hear his mind come up with this stuff, but for whatever it does, man, he has been successful. Yeah, I've read some reviews of look at this guy. This guy might as well be Cable. I've read some reviews of or criticisms of Liefeld, and they say that a part of the reason why some critics believe that his artwork became so popular and was so hot at the time was because he kind of thinks like an 11-year-old boy, which was the audience, and just makes it cool, you know? But then as we get older, we're like, oh, that's kind of bad, or the anatomy on that foot's wrong, or whatever. But as a kid, you don't care. You just want the exciting character, the cool character. Like this guy looks like Strife. That's another character that Liefeld created. Like that gun of Chapel. What is that? Looks like a lighter. So, and then Supreme, that was another one of his big creations. I guess he's just bring them all back. Supreme was basically Rob Liefeld's version of Superman. There we go. Youngblood. Issue 1. The DWJ variant cover and the manga edition. He calls it manga edition, yet it reads front to back like a sensible book, and none of the characters suffer from hyperthyroid. Seth the Moose. If I was dabbling in mangafying a Western comic, I would hide my identity as well. It's kind of like that. Hilarious. I just set up a redirect from my video to your stream. Hopefully you'll still be going. Oh, nice. Thank you, Michael Bancroft. Thank you so much. I think the temperature just dropped. Yeah, it's getting cold out there. I feel bad for calling him Scroogecraft. Well, I didn't say it, but I thought it. Haven't seen feet yet, Mr. Monkey Boy 1969 says. Sumo Thori says he was more of a Wildcats guy. Let me think. When the first Image run came out, I think Youngblood was the first book, the first launch. And then Spawn, right? The order of that? I think I was more of a Wildcats guy too. Although as a team, I think I liked Cyberforce better than Wildcats. I loved, yeah. When Wildcats first came out, I was like, my mind was blown. And then there's Spawn, yeah. Yeah, I think if I had to compare Youngblood or Wildcats, I like Wildcats better. The story of Youngblood is kind of cool. It's like as if heroes were they're manufactured, and they had like an image, literally an image. And it was a little bit autobiographical, I would think, that like Rob Liefeld was writing a little bit of his experience of becoming so popular and what that meant and the pressure of being popular. Similarly, Youngblood, they're just like the popular image of superheroes in this world. And they had to manage that image, but then behind the scenes was all this like dark stuff happening, like Black Ops stuff. So it was kind of cool. It's kind of cool idea. He's no Frad Flintstone, but he'll make your Bedrock. There was a whole lawsuit. His name actually used to be Bedrock. And then he had to change it to Badrock because of copyright issues that he got sued. Wife yelling at him. Yes. Why does everyone but Michelle and Brunson have a wrench in the chat? Well, firstly, that was back in the day where everybody was wrenched because I was just happy people showed up. And also John helped me John was a big part of that. Our good friend John, who's not here, or maybe he is and not saying anything, was a good part of like guiding me of like, oh yeah, that person deserves a wrench, or this person is basically, we didn't want anybody to like sabotage the YouTube experience for the rest of us by mistakenly getting wrenched, which I've done before. So John was really great at guiding that. But, you know, as we've grown out, now it's like, can everybody get a wrench? I don't know. I haven't done that in a while. But yeah, maybe Michelle, if Michelle keeps showing up, for sure. I'm sure Mark will vouch for her, and Brunson, same, you know. Gatekeeping is getting out of hand. Nothing derails the derailer. Been thoroughly derailed since late August. Really? Kept freezing every time I tried to switch to live chat. Oh, weird. I grew up and was into comics at the time, and I never cared for Liefeld's comics. Really? Didn't. I was a huge fan of his X-Force stuff. It's like I just gobbled his work up, McFarlane's work up. McFarlane was my pinnacle, but it was like him, Rob Liefeld, close second behind. Jim Lee was there too. So all the Image guys outside of Valentino, I'm sorry to say, all of the other original Image guys were it for me. So to see them all conglomerate and form the big band together was amazing. Nothing wrong with a kid's imagination. Man, I wish still had that crazy, right? It's like unadulterated, kind of not afraid to make a crazy idea. Yeah, there's a project I'm working on right now which taps into that like 11-year-old action boy kind of brain. And it could be cheesy, but for me, it's just like, this is so cool. Something about it. Yeah. And all the stuff that was done for Youngblood without Rob, I'd argue they were trying to make it more serious and more like adult. Just didn't hit for me. So I'm glad that it's back in his hands, regardless of, you know, it's his creation. So it's glad to see that kind of come full circle. Spider-Man with laser whips. Yeah, that's cool. I think it's supposed to get below freezing here tonight. Oh my goodness. John was not present for the mistake wrenching. See, that's what happens. That is what happens. Got to roll those R's on Rodriguez. Yes. Mark currently 42 here in the moment. We're on opposite sides. I love it. Long story short, my derailing for the past 3 months is because my dad literally started hearing voices all of a sudden, so he requires babysitting. Oh no, emo trash. That sounds stressful. Holy cow. I hope you will be okay. I hope you have some help there. That sounds crazy. So yeah, hopefully he has some medical help as well. Well, a second. I just got to check this message. Okay, sorry, I'm just getting some messages of when I have to stop. Okay, here we go. Well, let's keep moving. Holy cow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my gosh, are we going to get through all this? I'm going to start moving really fast. Geiger number 18. Again, with the Youngblood. Again, I don't know how. I mean, maybe it's because he was one of the co-founders of Image. But Rob Liefeld just got people throwing in his Youngblood characters on variants of their books, which makes no sense, but is still awesome because we get to see these artists like Gary Frank draw Shaft. How cool is that? That DWJ's Shaft? Come on. So cool. These guys are drawing circles around what Liefeld can do now. I don't know. It's so cool. I would love to see a Gary Frank Youngblood book or a DWJ Youngblood book. So cool. So yeah, there's a lot of variants, but Geiger continues on another strong book from Ghost Machine. Last Last issue, he met Goldbeard, this character Goldbeard. This is not drawn by Gary Frank, who is the... Oh, no, he does draw some pages. Looks like he draws like 4 pages or so. I don't know if he's taking a break or they're prepping this new artist to take over the series. I don't know. But Gary Frank is the regular artist on Geiger, and they have a fill-in guy right now. But he's actually quite good. He's good for Geiger, and I believe he drew the last issue as well. So yeah, Geiger's a story of a character kind of in a post-apocalyptic setting. He has these he's been given these abilities to absorb radiation and also redirect them like as a superpower. He lost his family in this, I think it was in the radioactive explosion that made him who he is. So he has that like hanging over his head the whole time. That's disturbing. There's a lot of disturbing images we're seeing in these comics I picked up. And that's always a big question that I've had in just reading, 18 issues of Geiger. I've been on the series since the beginning, as I have been with most of the flagship Ghost Machine books. But what are the limits of Geiger's power? And what would it take to kill him? Obviously not sticking him in a electric chair. That doesn't kill him. Yeah, there's a lot of mutilation going on in comics these days. It was great coloring. Brad Anderson's the colorist. One of the best colorists working in comics right now, I'd say, mainstream comics. And he does most, if not most, I'd say a good majority of the Ghost Machine books. Good stuff. Gets that nice radioactive green, really standing out on the page. There you go. There's his kids and his wife. Yeah, it's great because, let me think. There's Geiger, Redcoat, and Rook Exodus that are in my mind are like the 3 core Ghost Machine books. Jeff Johns is writing all of them. I'd say Geiger and Redcoat are similar in a sense that it's like a serial story. Like each episode, each issue is almost self-contained. There's an overarching plot, but it's kind of self-contained. So the key with those kind of stories and those kind of characters is to have the premise has to be really strong in order to hold them going through these individual adventures and just dropping them into any scenario. And so I feel like Geiger has that. Like his motivation is super strong and his power is really interesting and cool. So once you got those two locked in, and you're along, and you can like empathize with the character's plight and what he's about, you can kind of almost throw them into any scenario, introduce any kind of character. It's similar, like you think of a character like Batman or Superman. They've got a strong premise, they've got a strong motivation to who they are and what their origin is. You can just make them fight all sorts of rogues gallery people, and as long as that core is solid, the reader's in. So I feel like that's the way with Geiger. I don't know if they're kind of building towards something, but at the heart of it, it's like this loss of his family that motivates him or doesn't motivate him. Cool. Very sad. It's a sad story. Geiger is a sad story. Redcoat's kind of sad too, but it's more humorous. It was good. I have not dropped off on any of these Ghost Machine books. There's a couple issues here and there, maybe when there was a different artist on it, but for the most part, I've been in on these. They even treated the title like Youngblood. Okay, Geiger 18. Let's keep on moving. Emo Trash says, yes, that's terrible emo. Best wishes for him. My grandmother started to see people in her old age and would get mad at us for inviting people she didn't know to her house. Wow. Past 2 weeks has been filled with preventing him from literally cutting off power to the house because he's been on a fix about a wire outside that doesn't exist. Oh, man. Whoosh. Especially given that he's a 6'6" unit of a man. The rest of us in the house are women and are elderly. Yikes. Yeah, you gotta stay safe. Yeah, that's really tough. I can relate, but I can't go into details because when you're as big as a troll as me, you don't want anyone having anything to do on you. Ugh. You've said it, Sumo Thori. In many, many ways. Not just us getting old, but seeing people around us getting old. I've had many conversations with peers and friends of mine who are similar age as me, and I'm 21. No, so like we are like, I think the term is like you're in the sandwich generation. So your kids, you still have younger kids or kids that are under your care, but then your parents are getting older, but they're not like gone. They're still here, but it's really hard to like make that shift. And then you in the middle are kind of, your body's not the same as it was, doesn't bounce back as quickly as it used to. Your mind's a little slower. I just went to the optometrist yesterday, the eye doctor, and the vision is it's holding there. It's I'm like 2 steps away from reading glasses. But like, so everything is just reflecting back, getting older. That is not an easy place to be, because you still have to be young enough to take care of your parents, but also old enough to like navigate with your kids. It's crazy. Kramer Langer says, good art. Nice. I've not met any of his doctors except the one we both see. Been to the hospital twice. Wow. That sounds like quite an endeavor. You're in the middle of emo trash. Hang in there. Your dad just turned 51. Wow, that's super young. That is super young. Well, hopefully you can get some help and some care for him, and maybe some stability. I hope it doesn't derail your Thanksgiving. That would be horrible. Thanks for lighting up the mood, Mopigs. Thank you. Skinbreaker number 3 from Robert Kirkman and David Finch. This one has been not the hit I was expecting it to, or that I was hoping it would be. And I think it's not, I think it's, all things are a little, falling a little short for me. I think the artwork's amazing, phenomenal. David Finch, I mean, he's just incredible. I saw the other day he posted, if you don't follow him on YouTube, he has a YouTube channel. Doesn't post as frequently as he used to, but just recently he posted, maybe a couple days ago, a video of him live streaming drawing a character from Skinbreaker. And it's almost like from zero, I think, from blank page, and he pencils it, then goes into his inks, and then finishes it in like less than an hour and a half. And it's beautiful, beautiful artwork. So David Finch is incredible. One of the best. But there's something about this artwork. I mentioned it last time. It might be the coloring. Something about it that's not totally grabbing me. It's not like my favorite ever of what Finch has done in the past, or, has done, period. That's cool. Maybe it's the subject matter, the characters, I don't know. And then similarly, like, I really like Robert Kirkman's writing, but this is kind of like not totally hitting the mark for me. Not sure why. Might be the genre. I don't know. But nonetheless, it's not that I won't. That's awesome. I won't keep picking up this series. Like, I'll follow it to the end. But it's not something I'm like, oh, I can't wait for the next Skinbreaker. That's really cool. And you may notice it's like hyper detailed, all his work, which is signature Finch, but he's drawing this book, I believe, at 2x, so twice the size as a normal, or maybe it's 1.5x. But whatever, it's bigger than normal size. He's drawing it, and so he's able to compact in more detail. Yeah, I don't know about the colors. Something about the colors aren't doing it for me. They're a little too wild. It's almost like the colors don't, well, there's kind of nighttime, but they don't really communicate the story for me. They just are a little distracting with how otherworldly they are, as opposed to like capturing the mood or, driving the story. So, Annalisa Leona, yeah. That's cool. But if you're a fan of Finch's work, if you like this kind of genre, by all means, it's well done. Just not totally grabbing me. Skinbreaker, number 3. Mark's Music Obsession says, I like the art a lot. Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's Finch, man. The guy's good. I don't like the human, half-human people. Yeah, me too. There's something about it. It's like almost like Avatar, the comic, but orange. The diagnosis he was given after the second hospital trip is catatonia. The running theory is that was triggered by the infection he had in his foot. Oh, no. Foot infection was healed. Now it's a matter of getting his brain. Oh, man. Ooh. Hopefully they can treat that with some sort of meds or something. Trying to Tim Truman. I was not a big fan of Tim Truman's stuff. Yeah, I was never big. He did those like kind of Native American. Was it Scout? I think was a book that Tim Truman did. Yeah, I was never a big fan of that. Okay, here we go. Escape number 4. My goodness. Recommender Daniel Acuna. This was the war story told in an anthropomorphic world. It's a very, very dark, kind of hard-hitting war story. It's great. Really well done. Well executed. Other than the weird, like, animals kissing. But yeah, it's cool. Colors are cool. Very different. And just the expressions that Acuna draws. Beautiful. Beautiful stuff. And they deal with very, very heavy content. Themes. This guy pretty much lost his whole platoon. And he's stuck in enemy lines. And, yeah, I think this is a flashback. Okay. Yeah, he's stuck in enemy lines. And the enemies in this world are bats. But it's kind of cool to see, like throughout this series, so we're in issue 4 now, it's really cool to see how Acuna can draw expressions and make them feel very human, even though they're animal characters. He's really good with expressions. That's great. Some heavy stuff there. War ain't easy. My gosh. And if I'm not mistaken, Rick Remender, the artist, the writer on this, he's got a lot of stories, personal stories of his grandfather in the war. And that's been the inspiration for this. And you can feel it, right? It's got a very personal touch to it. So he must be referencing things that his grandfather taught him or, to tackle content like this. That's a great image. All right. Escape number 4. This feels very movie cinematic. I like his style. That's about it. Cranberry Andrews says. Finch or Acuna? Valley Law's in the house. What's up, Valley Law? How is the law business? Wait a second. Bancroft canceled Archer because he has a very special guest, and suddenly Valley Law shows up? Oh, all right. Can you imagine if Mo got a Bancroft membership during a premiere? Wow, that would be good. Mo's got a membership here thanks to Sumo Thori, right? Mo Biggs, I left for a second to back that book, and when I got back, Bancroft changed the locks and sent me here. Well, thanks for coming in. Great to have you here, Valley Law. We're just in the middle. Man, we still have... Can I get through this? Whew, we still have 5 books to go, including this one. That's a lot. And then we got to vote. All right, moving right along. The Infernal Hulk. This one has been hyped a lot. This is the new series by Philip Kennedy Johnson and Nick Klein. I believe Philip Kennedy Johnson just made an announcement on social media that he signed an exclusive deal with Marvel, if I'm not mistaken. But Cranberry Langers gifted a membership, sneaking in there. Thank you so much, Cranberry Langers. Is it going to say who got it? Oh, Buzz Acevedo got it. There you go, Cranberry Langers. Good job. There was never really much hope of Mo getting a membership, only a fool's hope. Oh my gosh, he already has one. So hopefully, Mo Biggs already has one at least. So hopefully Buzz will enjoy the membership here. Thank you so much, Cranberry Langers. Here's a Kiwi for that one. What I see? Comrade Sammy says, see you dudes later. All right, see you later, Comrade Sammy. First in the chat. Thank you for being here. I know this is going on long. As far as number of books, it's crazy. But happy Thanksgiving to you. Thanks for being first in the chat. Always great seeing you, and I will catch you on the other side of this holiday. Try to make it back in time to tie up the votes. Oh, no. Valley Law just became a member. Awesome. Thank you so much, Valley Law. Really appreciate you becoming a member. What the heck? That deserves a Kiwi too. Here we go. Thank you so much. And thank you, Bancroft, for pointing some of your subscribers this way. I appreciate it. I appreciate that extra boost of support. All right, here we go. Infernal Hulk. So Nick Klein has got this great, mentioned him this earlier, but Bernie Wrightson kind of feel to his artwork. He can get really into that horror vibe too, as we saw in the last issue of the Hulk book, which ended his run on that Hulk book because he's catapulting into Infernal Hulk here. So this is them, Philip Kennedy Johnson and Nick Klein, taking Hulk into more of a horror territory, which is really fascinating. And there was a point in time where Nick Klein was drawing the interiors of that Hulk book, and then he stopped. I think he paused. He was doing covers still, but it's great to see him back here on interior work because he's good, you know. He's got this nice brushy, inky style. And yeah, this kind of stuff like rain, the streaks of rain here. You can see the brush stroke. I love it. I wonder if this is a nod to all the Doctor Doom stuff going on. So yeah, in the Hulk issue that led up to this, Hulk was kind of split in half, and Bruce Banner's psyche, his soul, was ripped out of the Hulk. And here they're trying to, like, I don't know, he's like mystically sewn together here with another persona. It's kind of crazy. What? Wow. We've hit the jackpot of really violent comics this week, guys. This image here, this is a classic Hulk move of him slapping his hands so hard together that causes like a sonic explosion. But he basically blew this guy's face off by doing that. Yowza. Oh, that's awesome. The bullets hitting his skin. Wow. Wow. That's pretty epic. Oof. It's getting gnarly. Ugh. So they're just making him like really evil and violent. Oh, no, actually has some like mystical horror vibes here too. Like conjuring up some like demon energy. Wow. What in the heck is going on? Oh, this feels very Wrightson. Wow, this is like content that you would find in like indie comics when I was growing up, like, you know, the ones that you weren't allowed to read. But now it's just in the Hulk. Oh, that must be Banner. Wow, okay. All right. They are like combining some dark arts, dark magic with horror Frankenstein Hulk vibes is what it feels like. It's kind of cool. It's great. Definitely feels like Bernie Wright's an influence on that image. Even the coloring. That's cool. I'm in. I'm definitely in. Hulk has never been, I mean, there was a time where during the 90s, 2000s with like Dale Keown drawing Hulk, like that, where he was cool. I really liked the Mr. Fix-It Hulk. That was a cool rendition of Hulk. But this is something that's like a totally different aspect, kind of cool. That makes me go, okay, this is a Hulk book I can pick up because it's a fascinating take on Hulk, and I'm curious to see where they go. If it just becomes darker or if there's like a redeeming quality to him. Artwork's great. All right. Infernal Hulk #1. Hulk is now a full-on Spawn-like comic line, right? And Spawn has definitely gone off the deep end with that horror vibe, which is not me. So I never kept, like when Spawn was more superhero at the beginning, that's when I was in. But then when it went full-on horror, Gates of Hell kind of mythos that they created, I was like, all right. But yeah, we'll see where they go with this plot. It seems like there's a lot more to it than this first issue is showing, but it could be really cool. Fantastic use of shadows and highlights. Absolutely. Yeah, the highlights in particular, which was really signature to Wrights and stuff. Spot blacks are superb. Waiting for the Mobig's comment on that one. For some odd reason, the new polling system used will now say no VPMs allowed when I'm not using one on my phone, Rocky. Oh, weird. Huh. There you go, Valley Law. That's the super Kiwi. We drop that every time somebody does a super chat, becomes a member. People that support this channel, Kiwis abound. Very Lovecraftian for sure, especially with that like world at the end that they just revealed. Still learning about Lovecraft. If you are interested in Lovecraft, go check out Shanthan Jetty's channel. He's a huge fan of H.P. Lovecraft. In particular, Shanthan Jetty, good buddy of mine, his book Nosfero the Crypt Walker, which I think the campaign closed on that. But that one is his kind of love letter to Lovecraft and pulp heroes. This video will be going to next Wednesday, right? Probably going into Thursday for you since you're on the other side of the world. Somehow snuck under the radar there. It's up to you to find it, Mo Biggs, not me to point it out. All right, moving around along. Punisher. This is the Palmiotti Panosian Punisher. Look at this wraparound cover. Awesome. This is where Panosian's artwork is at. Like, what an amazing face right there. And his style now is just superb. Style and coloring, I don't know. He just hit a different level. So that's a great cover. And I know we've seen some violent stuff, but I'm just going to guess as we turn into the Punisher, we're going to see a little bit more. So this is the new series or limited series that Palmiotti's writing and Dan Pinoza is doing the artwork. And he introduced this new villain or enemy to Punisher called El Zombie in the first issue. Okay, I'm trying to track without reading, trying to track like what's going on here. It seems like there's some sort of like drug involved that Punisher got exposed to. Here it is, some sort of spray jug that turns him into zombies. Okay, here we go. This is what I'm talking about. This is part and parcel to comics these days. I mean, this is feeling like some Joe Kubert in here. Just like looseness of the hatching. There's nothing says Punisher than trapping him in a prison. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I felt like the first issue was more the vibe that I was expecting from this. This feels like a little bit more story, setting up the story, whatever this plot device of El Zombie, some sort of spray or mind control thing. So it's going to take a little bit of reading to kind of get into the plot. So yeah. That's great. There had to be some reference for that. Okay, cool. It does feel a little looser for Panosia in this one than it was in the first issue. One thing that's cool, and it's kind of confirmed they're doing this, at the end of every issue, they're doing these obituaries for the people that die in the issue, which is really brilliant. Okay. The Punisher, number 2. Cool, another seems like international intrigue with the Punisher involved here. Oh my goodness. Okay. Woo. It's like a marathon. Shanth missed out on naming his book The Man with the Iron Nose. Right? I like the look of this Hulk. Lindsay Rose says, I'm still learning about Shanth too. Yeah, just check out his channel. He hasn't been streaming as much. He did stream recently. I keep missing him. Like, he streams on Sundays. Definitely on Thursday. He used to stream regularly on Thursdays, his Pizza Live stream. He took a break from that, and then Sundays he streams. I can't actually watch those streams on Sunday. Like, I have commitments on Sundays that when he's actually streaming. But yeah, just he always has a great stream. Super fun, really entertaining, and then Shanth always drops the like knowledge bombs of art, of comics, of just the stuff that he's into. So yeah, and then he also, part of his shtick too is like from the heart of Lovecraft country, is because that's where he lives. He lives where H.P. Lovecraft was born and raised, I think, in Rhode Island, and so he has a strong affinity to Lovecraftian stories and the kind of darkness that he's written before. Anytime you see like large demon eyes with like tentacles, Lovecraft. Valley Lala says that looks cool. Crack Pack, what's up? Character in the blue shirt looks like Mark Miller. First 2 pages were dope. The rest, yeah. Let me see. The character in the blue shirt looks like Mark Miller. Yeah, there's a lot of talking heads in this one. The character in the blue shirt? This? Kind of looks like Palmiotti a little bit, actually, too. But yeah, a lot of talking heads. I feel like they're just kind of establishing the plot here. Which sometimes, you know, Punisher does that. It's not just all action-y action. There's a lot of like setup, political, or like mafioso kind of things going on. DC stands for Dumpster Comics. Just in time.
It's actually a really good sculpt.
What's up, Art and Times J. Ryan? Awesome seeing you there. Happy Thanksgiving to you, my friend. Hopefully you are will have a nice celebration with your friends and family. Shanta's definitely doing more horror art workshop streams. Yes. Yeah. The nurse was in blue. Yes, him. But Mark Miller, he's more clean cut. That dude had like a teardrop tattoo. All right, here we go. We're almost there. DCKO number 2. I was surprised. Okay, before I start, this is another DWJ cover, which the first one I have. This is the first one I have, and I just so happened to find this variant. I'm like, okay, I gotta get this other one. Like, it's pretty rad. Just to see Wonder Woman kneeing Joker in the face. I bought this at Amazing Fantasy. Frank, who's the owner of Amazing Fantasy, and when he saw I got this cover, he was like, I would have loved to see her kick him in the nuts. And I was like, that would have been pretty awesome for DWJ drawing. This anatomy is crazy, but it's so good. It's just all about the impact on that face. He's really good at that. And the crazed look on the characters. So, yeah, DWJ is killing it with his variant covers these days. But DCKO, the first issue, I thought it was just going to be too gimmicky for me. I bought it because it was the first one and I wanted to see what it's about. Thought it was going to be too gimmicky. I really liked it. And that's why I picked up issue 2. Scott Snyder is the writer. So he's the same writer on Absolute Batman, which love, and we will be looking at one of those issues today. Sorry, Jay Ryan, Mo Biggs. But Scott Snyder is writing on DCKO, and if I had to sum it up in a nutshell, what makes this book more than just the gimmick of your favorite characters fighting each other in a wrestling bracket is the first issue tapped into Superman's psyche, where the premise is whoever wins this war or this game, this battle, will be imbued with the powers to stop Darkseid. So everybody is, because not just the heroes, but the villains too have something in stake. Like Darkseid is going to destroy the world. And so everybody has something to lose. So everybody is vying to win this challenge. Now, it would be easier to compete against your enemies and just try and beat the crap out of them so you could win. But the premise of this setup and the story is that even the heroes will have to eventually, as they make it up the ladder, compete against each other. And I felt like the first issue really tapped into Superman's dilemma of like, how can I win this? Because I probably have the best chance of winning this and defeating Darkseid, but also like help my friends get as far as possible. So I really like that aspect, and it was kind of this neat character thing in the midst of the crazy battles and fights. And so it kept me in. It kept me intrigued. And it almost didn't. It just explained very quickly what the setup was for the story and then just threw you in the midst of it. So I feel like if they tried to overly explain it or make it overly, maybe they're doing that here, but if they tried, I mean, there's a lot of information here, but if they tried to overdo it, that it would just become way too belabored and cheesy and just like, I'd be out. I don't know. That seems like they're trying to add all this gaming stuff into it. All these weapons. There's the demon. Remember we were looking at demon images by Jack Kirby? Jack Kirby was the original creator, one of the original creators of the demon. That's wild. It says parental advisory, explicit content. That's kind of the running gag here. That's hilarious. Even though we just saw several comics where people's guts were being splayed out in all their glory. Whoa. I wonder too, after this is all said and done, because people are getting maimed, potentially killed. I think Batman got killed. Something's going to happen at the end where whoever's the winner, it's going to be like a Thanos snap or something where it resets, probably. Artwork's cool. Very epic. Big scale. Yeah, it feels like the stakes are really elevated high. It's awesome. It's like when Vader cut off Luke's hand. Let's do that. Valley Law, have a good night, everybody. See you later, Valley Law. Thank you for coming. New channel member, Valley Law. Awesome seeing you here. I hope we see you again soon. Getting PTSD flashbacks here. Mo Big says, I feel like between Absolute Batman and DC KO DC are really trying to tap into the spirit of Reacher. Tragically, I mean season 2. Wow. Oh, wait. DWJ has drawn Wonder Woman before. What's up, Adam?
This is Adam. Hey.
Good seeing you. Number one DWJ fan. Yes, he has drawn Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman Dead Earth was one of the first Dinah Warren Johnson stories that I ever read that made me like, oh, who's this guy? So yeah, that's a good one. I highly recommend that one. Actiony action. Rocky is starting to sound like someone who would be assigned to write The Punisher in 2018. DCKO, what I love about the series is nothing. Clown guy is getting bodied. That's right. I'm Canadian. My Thanksgiving was in October. But I appreciate... Oh, you're right. All right, I take it back. Merry early Christmas to you. Art and Times of J. Ryan. I do hope you and your family have a great holiday. Thank you so much. Wonder Woman beating up Joker. Shouldn't she be losing to Kite Man or something for random shock value? Interior art is better than the cover. What a twist. With a knee strike like that, who needs a launch station? Is there a sphincter in between that KO? I'm going to say yes. It's a shattered one, though. I'm going to say yes. So Q came from Star Trek and made up rules for a game. Chocolate starfish and the KO. Gross. I feel like between... Oh, yeah, we read that. It's DC Mortal Kombat, yes. Michael Bancroft is not impressed. I like how generous Rocky is with these books. I'm guessing hands are the only part you could cut off and still get a PG rating. That's why the original trilogy did it over and over. Yeah. I mean, do these books even have ratings anymore? It seems like all bets are off when it comes to comics. Uh-oh, Booster Gold. Setting his oh, look at it. Here is the bracket. I won't spoil it too much, but already starting to see some of the losers here. Who will win? It's cool. I don't know. As somebody who is very skeptical about it, I'm not buying any of the side stories at all. There's a bunch of DC KO tie-ins, but somebody who's pretty skeptical about the concept, I enjoyed the first issue. So let's see. I'll see if the second issue will keep me in. It kind of feels like it's still moving really quickly, so I like that. Okay. All right. Holy cow. Let me just double check something. Sorry, I'm just looking at the time limit. We have some people coming over for dinner. So, all right, let's do it. We can do it. 2 more. Absolute Wonder Woman, number 14. This is a 2-issue run by this team. Kelly Thompson has been the writer through and through for Absolute Wonder Woman, but they got the guest artist, Matthias Bergara, who drew that book, Coda, and there was another book that he drew. But he's a phenomenal illustrator, and he's drawing just a 2-issue arc on here. I stopped picking up Absolute Wonder Woman. It was good, but it kind of fell off my pull list. But because they got this artist, I was like, okay, I'm in, because I think he'll be a great fit for Wonder Woman, and he is. So the first issue was awesome. Look at these amazing action drawings. He's got a light touch with his ink line, but it's still very solid. I love it. I love the quality of his line work. And I mean, Absolute Wonder Woman has been doing really good at the stores. People love this take on her. I think second to Batman, I think Absolute Wonder Woman is right up there. That's the artist, Matthias Bergara. I believe he's Italian. This nice Euro, really beautiful. It's almost like a Belgian line quality to the ink work. It's great. There's a nice feminine quality that she has a nice feminine quality to her, but still looks powerful. Sometimes I feel like Hayden Sherman, who is the ongoing artist for this book, she gets a little too masculine. And I think that the perfect mix of like femininity and like strength is a sweet spot for me with Wonder Woman. I love how these like silhouettes here in the foreground, it's not just a solid black, like you can still see the artist touch in there. Like here too. It's really nice. Oh yeah, I think they're doing a crossover next issue. That's right, with Batman. So they're gonna kind of interweave them now. I mean, DC is absolutely dominating over Marvel, which is, from somebody who is a Marvel boy growing up through and through. I was always on the Marvel camp, and they're coming out with tons of books right now too, but I feel like they're just all kind of floundering, and DC is taking some huge, heavy swings at their major characters and reinventing them a little bit with the Absolute line. And it's just been very successful for them. So they're just growing and growing and growing. And most of the retailers that I talk to, or the store owners, like the Absolute line is one of their biggest sellers. So this is awesome. I kind of wish, I'm not going to lie, I wish that this guy was the regular artist on it. He's awesome. And he's a perfect fit for Wonder Woman. Really good quality. Great stuff. It's like this mixture of like fantasy illustration with superhero, amazing expressions, great action, great fantastical imagery. There's a looseness to his stuff that is Hayden Sherman's artwork. If any of you have seen the early original run of Absolute Wonder Woman, it's a lot tighter and like it's got a tight line to it. I think his handle on Instagram is like clean lines or something like that. So that's his shtick. But I don't know. There's something about this nice, like whimsical line that Mateus Bagara has that's just beautiful. I could stare at this all day. Cool. All right. Absolute Wonder Woman. Bancroft wasn't expressing boredom in the book. He was playing into the will they, won't they sexual tension between himself and Valley. Is that how it goes? Doing 192 books in a stream is not the way to hook Michelle on my Wednesday comics. Okay, this is the last one. Sorry. Maybe I should have asked you on the side, Mark. She's like, it's over, Mark. This is the worst thing ever. Okay, I promise. This is it. And we got to vote. Holy cow. I'm going to flip through this fast, but this is the epic conclusion of Absolute Batman and the Bane story, which is called Abomination. Look at this. Come on. I know I got a lot of Absolute Batman haters in this chat right now. I'm not going to name them, but they know who they are. But come on. That's so cool. Nick Dragotta's awesome. I love this guy. So just building up the storyline between Bane and Batman. His Bane is just more juiced up than you've ever seen Bane before. Oh my gosh. It's heading into this arena. They're just leading up to this ginormous fist fight. There we go. Kind of giving you illusions of the fight. Hold on, let me text. Yep. This is just going to be an all-out brawl. This is the Harley Quinn, the absolute Harley Quinn. Whoa, Killer Croc has entered the fray. Come on, that's so cool. That is so cool. He's probably going to get his jaw snapped. Yep. Oh, so they're doing this like flashback between Bruce and Waylon and what's going on here, because Waylon has now been mutated into this croc. He's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Wow. Whoa, that's so cool. Oh, it's my cat. Hang on one more. I can't tell if somebody fed my cats already or if he's coming in to bug me to feed him. This is crazy. That's an awesome Catwoman pose. So I guess he just died. So they're leading up to Joker. Some of you guys have might seen the leaked images, or not really leaked, but the images that were released of the absolute Joker, the Joker for this world, and it looks out of this world. He looks demonic. So yeah, that's the next big plot line that they're heading into, which is pretty exciting. All right, let's read the hate. Here we go. Where's the hate? Ethan Miller 22 says, love that blue. Nice seeing you, Ethan Miller. It's funny because they left at the same time. Conspiracy? I think not. Cranberry Langer says, I like that cover. I didn't want to send it to Bancroft as a repeat. Too many Wonder Women. This book looks really cool. Yes. Uruguayan. Matthias Bergara is from Uruguay. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Is this the Wonder Cave? Yes, it's more like Hell. She's from Hell, or grew up in Hell, I should say. DC are trying to make up all the ground they lost when Bendis finished coming. I'd read Absolute Linus. I'm waiting for Absolute Godzilla. Ethan Miller knows Batman is top 5. Yes, he's extra thick. Extra thick. Apologies to Michelle. She should be offended. Is that a really big crocodile? It is Croc, Killer Croc. From... this is the absolute Batman version of Killer Croc. I'm waiting for Absolute Godzuki. Oh my gosh. I was watching... What was that movie? It was like King Kong. And they had the baby gorilla. Oh, it was bad. Look at his thigh. Absolute Inferior 5. And we are turning her into a comic hater now because of how long this is going. Okay, I'm going to set up the poll. Let me double check the poll because something's changed. One was, as I catch up with your comments, you guys start voting. So what I do at the end, I'll talk to Michelle specifically if she's still awake, was... what we do at the end of my streams is we like to vote on what everybody's favorite book is. So this particular week is a lot of books. This is going to be a long poll, but everybody gets one vote. And where is that button? So everybody votes once, and then we watch. It's a live poll. So then we watch whichever is the number one book of the week. And then what I like to do is change the thumbnail. I don't know, I still have to debate whether or not I'm going to change the thumbnail because this is Thanksgiving, so I kind of like the Thanksgiving, the turkey stuffed with comics image. But, oh, shoot, I need to, sorry guys, I need to post the link to the poll. So here are all the books, including the ones that I including the ones that I unboxed. So if you know what you want to vote, go ahead and vote. I pinned the link. It's just called Straw Poll. It's just a link. You don't have to sign up for anything. You just vote there. But I pinned the link at the top of the chat. But I include, as you guys go and vote, I will just run through really quick the books. Look at how many books there was. One was, I unboxed 2 books. The Man with No Strings by Phil Diaz and Zaid Comics, number 0, which I accidentally spoiled some of the imagery in there. 2, I unboxed Animal Man from wonderfully gifted to me by none other than Cranberry Langers, channel member Cranberry Langers in the chat. Thank you so much. That was volume 2, so I'm excited to kind of dig into that. It's something he's been recommending on this channel for a long time, so I'm really excited. And thank you again, Cranberry, for sending that. That's super generous of you. Oh, great. These just all went out of order. Dang it. Hold on. Okay, keep voting, everyone. Let me just read the right order. Okay, Union number 2. That was a Mark Texiera book, A Blast from the Past, from Image Comics. Great artist, Mark Texiera. The Agency was those 6 issues I found in my dollar box by Kyle Hotz. Great artist. I won't even want to say up and coming. He's been in the industry for a long time, but he's fantastic artist. We've looked at his work a number of times here on stream. So it was a series he did in the early 2000s called The Agency. Wolverine's Revenge number 4. That's if you like black and white penciled art. The Greg Capullo series. Youngblood number 1 by none other than the relaunch. None other than Rob Liefeld, co-founder of Image Comics, creator of Cable, Deadpool, comics legend. Geiger number 18. That's a classic Ghost Machine book that I've been collecting since issue 1. Actually, they have issues even before the issue 1 that I didn't collect. But 18 issues. That was number 18 from the Ghost Machine crew. Skinbreaker number 3. That's the David Finch and Robert Kirkman book. Escape number 4 is the Daniel Acuna and Rick Remender war story with the anthropomorphic characters. The Infernal Hulk number 1 by Philip Kennedy Johnson and Nick Klein was that awesome new take on the Hulk. Punisher number 2, Dan Panosian and Jimmy Palmiotti was a what is that called? The World to Come spinoff of the Punisher. DCKO number 2. Got some haters in here for DCKO. It was that basically how did Adam describe it? Mortal Kombat for DC, where all the characters are fighting each other to try and win this battle so that they can ultimately defeat Darkseid. Absolute Wonder Woman number 14 by Kelly Thompson and Matthias Bergara, just a guest artist on that series for 2 issues, number 13 and 14. Phenomenal artist, beautiful artwork on that one. And then finally, Absolute Batman number 14. I know I rushed through that one, but that is the conclusion to the Bane storyline of the Absolute Batman series. Artwork by Nick Dragotta, written by Scott Snyder. So, woo, that was a mouthful. Who is the... No, that's not what I wanted. Who is the winner right now? Absolute Batman. What? 4 votes for Absolute Batman. Take that, you Absolute Batman haters. 4 votes for Absolute Batman, number 14. 3 votes Wolverine. Wow, 3 votes for the black and white Wolverine Revenge. No kidding. Union got 2 votes. Skinbreaker 2 votes. Punisher 2 votes. Geiger 1 vote. Infernal Hulk 1. Wow, that I did not expect that at all. That's amazing. So that's a total of, what are we at? 15 votes so far. Wow. I think that's a record for our straw poll. Thank you so much, people who are here. And I give some of the credit to Bancroft and also Mark's Music Obsession for inviting Michelle here, who such a trooper. Thank you, Michelle, for standing in and listening to 1,000. Whoops, sorry, that keeps scrolling up when it shouldn't. 1,000 comics. I normally don't have that many comics. It just happened Thanksgiving week a lot. Would have voted for Old Blue, but don't like Mutant Feet. Mark's Music Obsession voted. Rocky can't even wingman for Mark ever, even if he's from Yabby Creek. Jeffrey Beats voted. Rob decided abs were a suggestion and a scribble. That's right. That's right. There's many scribble abs in this. Ethan Miller 22 voted Batman. I have to be loyal to him, child trauma and all. Nice. It's a good one, man. Youngblood #1 was terrible. Maybe I should do a vote one of these days, maybe like April Fools or something. We should do a vote of the worst book. That would be fun. Emo Trush didn't study for this test. I know, so many choices, Timmy Mello. Lindsay Rose says, I'm a nerd, just not an overly comic one. We still can make you a nerd for comics. That's the goal here, Lindsay Rose. We're celebrating his birthday soon, Emo Trash, don't worry. No, it was a lot of choices. That's something else I did this week. I wrapped myself in tape for an art project. Oh, art school. Heck yeah, Batman. 4-3. Yeah, Absolute Batman. We got winning with one vote. I bet the counting ID being done by Absolute Dominion. Refresh it. Oh, here we go. Mark's Music Obsession. 6 votes. What? What? Oh my gosh. Wolverine has 5, 6 now. Mr. Monkey Boy voted for Bande Dessinée. Jerry, you voted for Union. He actually voted for Skinbreaker. There's 2 votes for Skinbreaker. I was thinking Geiger. Animal Man. Yeah, you are a little biased. Hopefully Big Boy will bring the entire Burgers family. Oh boy. Oh boy. I've seen the worst book on this channel. Nice. That's what I want to hear, Lindsay Rowe. Mark, people are getting suspicious here. Suspicious. 7 votes. How many burner accounts do you have, Mark? Let's be honest. Yes. They voted Skinbreaker. What? What? Are you telling the truth? This is getting crazy out of hand. I don't even know who to trust anymore. Cranberry Langer says, I generally do think the art is great. You talking about Skinbreaker? Wait. Cranberry Langers, where are you? What was the last vote you said? Or the last comment? Wonder Woman, yes. Charlie Brown Thanksgiving? I don't know. Charlie Brown Thanksgiving is like this. Mark's Music Obsession says, I voted Skinbreaker honest. Best art, in my opinion. Okay. I believe you, Mark. I believe you. Mo, I don't know if he believes you, but I believe you. Wow. Wolverine Revenge out of nowhere. 7 votes. Are you kidding me? That is surprising. I don't think I heard a peep out of anybody in the chat about that book when I flipped through it. And I flipped through it relatively fast. So that is surprising. I thought Batman was going to take it. If not Infernal Hulk, maybe Wonder Woman as I was going through these. But that's surprising. I don't think we're going to get 4 votes in here to save any other of the books. Any of the other books. So I'm going to call it for Wolverine Revenge. Mr. Monkey Boy 1969 says, I like the horsies. Nice. I'm going to call it. Wait. Okay, I'm going to do this. I did this last time. We'll give a one minute countdown and that's it. But I think everybody voted. It seems like this is the most votes. 21 votes. Get out of here. The most votes we've had so far. 21 votes, 7 votes for Wolverine Revenge. Number 4. I'm surprised. Nice. Michelle. voted for the Wolverine book. That's amazing. You know, Mark has had a horrible time getting books that he voted for to win. So not only books, but anything that he's voted for on this channel, he's always like, the one I voted for didn't win. So maybe you can turn the tides for him, because you're one of one right now. Double the people in chat. At least the people talking in chat. Maybe more people are watching K-pop. Or we got a bunch of people with like multiple devices. All right, there we go. That was our 1 minute countdown. I didn't have any kind of sound to end it. What's the sound? There we go. 1 minute countdown. That's it. 7 votes. That is the winner. Wolverine Revenge #4, Black and White Raw Edition. That is crazy. But that's awesome. I voted Wolverine, think I was tying it up with Batman. What? She tipped it. A minute, I have to pee. Okay. There's Planes, Trains. There's a Garfield Thanksgiving. My vote would be on the horror movie Thanksgiving. Yikes. Schemes and Scams. That's right. Oh my gosh. Cranberry's not only surprised, he's suppressed. Cranberry, I know you, for somebody who's a stickler on spelling, dude. You missed it on that one. All right, everybody. Congrats to the Wolverine voters. Like Michelle. Mark, you got to be happy for that, right? Everybody, thank you all for being here. Thank you for putting up with so many books. How many books do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 books. That is a record. And 21 votes. 14 books, 21 votes. That is crazy. But thank you all for just hanging in there, coming along for the ride. And more importantly, I want to wish every single one of you a happy, happy Thanksgiving. I appreciate each one of you. I'm very, very thankful. I say this not to be cheesy, from the bottom of my heart. I'm very thankful to know all of you and to spend some time with you every week, and just to get to know you through comics, through our chat, through the fun that we have here. It's been an absolute pleasure as we crossed over the two-year mark. I'm just really, really excited to just continue doing this and continue having you guys along for the ride. Master study for that Jack Kirby image is coming. Thank you for being patient about that. Like I said, my schedule has been nutso the last few weeks. But we are going to try and fit that in. We're going to start that in December, and that'll be great. But let's take this time to just be thankful for what we got. You know, that we can do this, that we can meet each other, that we can buy comics, we can chat about them, we can have fun, we can criticize them, all in good fun. I'm really appreciative of that, and so glad that I've been able to just get to know you guys and do this crazy, crazy thing. As bananas as my life has been getting with everything that's been filling up the schedule, I was just talking to Frank, and I'll end on this. I was just talking to Frank this afternoon, and I said, yeah, I think I'm going to try and stream. He's like, wow. And he's like, you know, before Thanksgiving and trying to fit it out, I said, you know what, Frank, like, I really enjoy it. Like, it's not a chore. It's really just it takes a lot of work, but it's just a fun thing to do. And I look forward to do it. And I really mean that. So hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving. Hug your loved ones. Emo Trash, we're praying for you, and hope your dad feels better. Michelle, really great getting to know you and seeing you in chat. Hope to see you around more. And all the newbies that came in here, Valley Law and Ethan Miller, all you guys. It's really great having new guests in here. And I hope you guys enjoyed your time here, and we'll come back for more. Please hit the like and subscribe. I'll see you guys later. Take some time off and relax. Have a good weekend, and I'll see you guys all. Happy Thanksgiving.